All right. So last we left off, we were in the middle of the van. Wheels gave you a little pep talk and then shoved you out the door. You're going out in three teams. One of them, I assume, is checking north. The other is east. The other is south. West being inaccessible because it's merged into the nearby districts. What are you all doing?
All right, so I had a team that was just me and Brian. I guess we'll go ahead and go first.
I thought it was
So
3 people to a team.
you and me were the only team that was 2 people. The other ones were 3-person teams,
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe.
So,
So.
And I think I was with
Because we
with
wanted there to
Levi
be.
or Eli and
Oh shit! Where is Eli?
Dog.
not here.
Yeah, me.
Fuck. He was supposed to be
Yeah.
the perceptive member of his party. I tried to split up the
Who
variables.
was on team 3?
The remainder.
Me and Baku.
All right.
I'm also like, I also have like decently high perception.
Okay, I know Vaku and Enkos have good perception.
Yeah, and I think
There's got to be at
Darian
least
and
one more
Sal,
fucking
I have
person in
no
this
fucking-
party who has halfway good perception. I know I don't.
Sal. Yeah, that's why you're with me. Sal, do you have?
Well,
or, I'm
Sal's
sorry,
not.
Yeah, Darian. Does he have good perception or not?
It's okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be the eyes. for
That'll
your
be the
group
best.
then.
Yeah, I guess that's the fucking best we can do.
Yeah, because it's gonna be you and Tim, and all right. Well, everyone's got everyone. I know that I'm with Brian, and I guess everyone else is gonna have to make do. You're gonna have to pull the slack from Tim, Tom, and Vaku and Yarich. Vaku can probably be doing a lot of the looking. Whenever we rolled in, I believe I said something about checking for things like external guards, windows, security cameras, any information you can glean about the place. You know,
Where's Matt
Matt's
I'm here.
in the game?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I don't see his cursor.
What is it?
anywhere.
Okay, well, fucking, he's here in the call and can communicate with us. So
I'm here in the call and I'm on Foundry. I just can't click stuff
right.
very well, but I can do like shit with my character sheet.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
on. You're not on desktop. That might be why.
I just want
Ah,
to casually mention that you can look in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, no, he's there. God,
Yeah.
I think seeing Timothy fucked me up. I was looking for Tim and Tom specifically, so Timothy fucked me up. Anyways, we're getting off track here. So, whenever we're all offloaded, I'm gonna go ahead and take 447, and we're gonna be like, all right, let's go check out the side of the building we got assigned. And whenever we are within range, I want to try to keep myself at least about a good 50 to 60 meters away. You know, as far away as I can be, while being in clear view of the building to start looking at it.
All right. Well, since you're so far away, just give me perception checks.
Yep.
you can bring up my character sheet. I'll do the same. I'll just be the backup
All of us
perception
are
in
just,
case.
well, I mean, I guess it would just be them two at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna handle theirs, and then I'll go to yours.
Sorry, I'm a little retarded.
You're fine.
Well-
It doesn't really matter. So, with Ankos rolling pretty well and Centurion rolling pretty badly, Centurion, you're just kind of worried about the general car traffic in the area because this is a pretty clustered and like urban population. It's a populated area, is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Ankos, you approach the relatively flat north side of the building. Again, the west side is completely consumed by the other districts. Like, there's no alleyway to get in or anything.
It's just butted up against the next building over.
Yeah, you spot a window westward and a door and a camera eastward, and it looks like the camera is swiveling. So it covers the door and the eastern side of the property.
Door and Eastern. Okay, let me go ahead and pull out a word pad real quick so I can start noting it down.
So I'm going
Basically,
to.
if you want to get in through the door or the window, you'll have to pass by a camera.
I'm
is
gonna
what I'm saying.
say in a low voice. Do you think either you or your reach could hack into the cameras and make them blind?
That's exactly what I was thinking. And as I pull up my my data pad, I want to see if I can find some type of wireless network connection linking into that building.
Or better yet, maybe there's internal cameras we can use to get a sense of what the inside of the building looks like.
If I'm on the network for the external cameras, then I should be on the internal cameras as well.
Yeah, you go ahead and check for a external network, and you do manage to find that there is a like wireless zone around this building. Go ahead and give me a computers check.
Alrighty.
Pretty good.
A 24. You access it and realize that whoever has set up the electronics for this area likely has two networks, and the security portions of this building are not on the public network.
All right. Well, in
Which
that
means
case,
that you have access to maybe streaming on the TV or. I'm gonna make a roll real quick. With the roll of a 24, you actually have access from what you see. You don't see the actual thing itself, but you have access to a garage door.
I'm gonna annotate this down, save it for later, and put my data pad back down. I have limited access in, and I might even have a way inside the facility. There's a garage door, and I can pop that open with this access.
You know, if that garage door comes open and they don't know why, they're gonna come running.
Either we could use as a
sounds like a good distraction to me.
Right. Could use that as a way to draw away guards would pop in through the roof, or maybe even sneak in through another building through the vent work. That is definitely a last resort, though. Anyways,
just a thought.
we have plenty of time to evaluate our options. And upon sensing cameras, getting those down, and having my security, I will go ahead and hand it off to another party, because I feel like that's all the information that we are to glean from this.
All right. The team going to the east side entrance would be Timothy and Dog. By the time that you make it to this entrance, it looks as if Eli, the drow, has completely disappeared. One moment you saw him, the next he was gone. So, what do you want to do?
That shifty little fucker, where'd he go?
I don't know. I thought you had eyes on him.
I'm wearing this helmet, you know. It's kind of hard to see my peripherals all the time.
Well, then why do you wear it?
It's cool.
Levi, you said that cameras were watching both the east and south portions of the building.
So the one camera that you saw, which is on the corner between the north and east side of the building, it swivels to face both the eastern portion and the northern portion.
Can I do a
the way that it is placed means that it can face two sides of the building, but it's on a swivel. It can't do it at the same time.
It's on the east and it pans back and forth, north and south.
Basically.
Well, I suppose we can just start by looking at the place. Although I think we're a bit conspicuous here, being a man wearing a suit and a bear. God, whose fucking plan was this anyway? Anyway.
I don't know. I just got told to hang out with you and Sal. Look, just do a quick peek. I mean, you're a lot smaller than me, so just like poke your head around the corner and see if you see any like guards or cameras or stuff.
And I suppose Darian is going to do that. Just
go ahead and give me a perception check.
Over. I don't know why I'm typing this in. I can just click. Perception. Roll. Bam.
So, you were pretty concerned with the eastern portion of the building up until somebody on the overpass above you throws a half-drinking milkshake, and it like hits the ground next to you and makes a loud, startling noise. You don't get as much detail as you like, but what you do make out is that there is a garage door and a person sitting just outside in a pretty crappy chair smoking a cigarette. He is clad in ramshackle armor and pretty, like, meager clothing.
Tim Tom looks at Darian. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really good at this whole sneaky thing. Do you think we should like go talk to him or something?
I don't know. Do you want to walk up to him as a bear and talk to him? I don't know about, but back when I remember, I'd be pretty scared if a bear talked to me. You know, before I met you, of course.
Oh, it's okay. Tim Tom pats Darian on the shoulder. I'm not a scary ear sign.
Okay.
Well, there's just a guy over there, and there's a door, and
garage door.
A big door.
Big door.
And, you know, that's all we need to know, really, isn't it?
Basically, it's a recon.
I guess.
So, maybe, so we're not just wandering off in random directions after this. Sometime after me and 447 get our read of the place, I want to look around nearby to see if there's like a coffee shop or something that we can all meet up with afterwards.
Fair enough. There are no nearby, like, recreational areas. This place is pretty like deep into industrial territory, so it's mainly abandoned factories and workshops and shit like that. But you can probably find some place that looks relatively okay and just kind of hang out there. Drop
Yeah.
a fucking Boogle pin.
Try
So
some-
Google pin.
as we leave the eastern front, we head to the southern front with the Moth and Vaku. What is it that you guys want to do?
Baku's. I'm going to have Baku check the way, make sure we don't accidentally hit any cameras. So
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like sneak around the corner or whatever and just
we're
kind
going
of
to stay
look
away
around.
from the building until we know
Okay.
it's a safe area.
Stealth
Like-
and perception.
Okay, which one do I roll first?
Either or, honestly.
Uh, perception.
I'm not sure why you rolled stealth twice.
Oh, I thought I.
What? He didn't. That was Yurich and Vaku rolling stealth.
Oh, I see. So, that was a 7 for Vaku's stealth. Was that correct?
13.
13. All right. So, you go ahead and check out the southern side of the building, and the way that it curls in in your direction to the left side, it kind of corners in, like it's got a directional slant into the building, kind of cutting apart a little bit of space. And in that directional slant is a camera, and on the furthest right side of the building, there is a camera that appears to swivel both south and east.
Yeah.
That is about all you get.
Alright.
Looks like there's a couple of cameras, Yarich.
As soon as we recognize cameras, I'm already pulling out my
Jesus.
computer, my miniature computer, and beginning to try to hack into the thing.
Give me a computer's check.
I didn't look at the rolls until just now. Y'all fucking killed that shit.
Yeah.
24, you access the only wireless network within this facility and figure out that you have access to like streaming to the wireless TV and maybe opening a garage door.
There seems to be a garage door right over there.
What is this, a rewind episode?
Ah.
I mean, doing the same thing, getting the same results.
Can you get
Alright,
anything with the
Let's
cameras?
pull out. Let's pull out.
All right.
So you all pull apart, head off to that Boogle pin, find the detective and the super soldier just kind of resting near a burning trash can. Oh, and a couple of homeless people.
We found Dirty Mike and the boys. We are Dirty Mike and the boys.
Indeed. So most of you group up, discuss your findings. You know what you have discovered.
I and you know, I just relay back about, well, I saw a camera, I saw a door, and I got access to the wireless network, and that's really about it.
We saw
Oh,
two
you
more
saw a camera too? Or you saw a camera? Oh, we didn't see
Yeah.
any cameras. We just saw a door and a guy.
Yeah, there's a guy sitting there bored as hell, chain smoking.
Couple
On
cameras, a
West side
door,
of the building?
and like a TV, I suppose.
Was
nothing
that
too crazy.
was that garage not covered by the camera, or was it? Or it's one of those cases where it's covered whenever it pans back and forth.
Oh,
but,
we don't know.
From what you can tell, the eastern side entrance does not look like it has cameras for the garage door.
All right. Sure.
Your combined collective knowledge.
I might have to try to see if they have next time round. I might have to try the local net and see if it
Actually,
has the
Yarish, I have some.
facility.
I have an idea as to what you could have done potentially. You can fly, right?
I kind of wave my hand, kind of shakily. I can jump higher if I flap my wings, but my wings are more for gliding and high wind situations. They
Unfortunate.
They
I would have
don't-
liked for one of us to get on top of the roof and actually try to see if there's a way in from there, because they would have probably never expected that.
Vaku's
If-
literally a
Can you-
bird. Can't he fly?
I don't
Oh.
have wings.
Hmm.
I could probably climb up there though.
Do you think that you could maybe find like a fire escape from the next building over and do some roof hopping and find your way onto the ceiling. You
Sure.
seem to be kind of the
I'm
the
going to take.
type. Maybe this should be right up your alley, like doing a heist or something.
Yes.
I could jump
I've-
from a
I've
large
seen
building
Sal.
and glide down.
I mean, you could both go. I'm not even gonna try. If I try to climb up anything too crazy, I'm gonna bust my ass and die.
Oy.
Well, we'll go back and do that. We're going to search for a high vantage point where I can.
As previously mentioned, there is an overpass and it does hang above the building.
All right. Me and Baku are going to go to overpass. I'm going to glide down on top of the building gently.
So you have to walk some distance until you can find an actual like boarding ramp to get onto this pass.
Yeah.
And then where you finally get up there, Zavaku tagging along.
Yes.
So I would like the moth to go ahead and make a. Let me check real quick. I think it might be a reflex save.
What? I thought it would be an acrobatics or something.
Let me check. It is a reflex saving throw.
Yeah. It's what? The
This
traffic?
is, this is specifically for gliding wings for Yarreach. So you go ahead, as you drift down, your wings kind of extend out and start beating. It emits minor sound, but you make it down to the roof without actually, like, crash landing. Baku, your turn. And behind you, another car goes and passes by. And it just kind of, like, brushes up the wind and bristles whatever feathers you have open to the air.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. So I guess I'll just make an acrobatics check to like get onto the roof safely.
Certainly. So you go ahead and grab hold of the ledge of the overpass, the railing keeping cars from flying off and hitting pedestrians, and just simply drop off the side. And as you hit the front of the roof, you go ahead and curl in your front half and push out with your legs and force your angular momentum, or rather, your just genuine momentum, into a forward roll.
Yep.
And you get a little bit dusted up, but you're fine.
Yeah.
You are now on the roof of this place.
Nice.
All
So
right.
you take a look around and you find a smaller industrial air conditioning unit, a couple of fans that are just kind of steadily whirring, and most interestingly, to the southern half of the building, presumably near the garage, there appears to be an access panel.
Ooh.
I'm going to go over to access panel and see what I can get.
Yeah, you go ahead and approach it, and you find that it is pretty heavily locked. It looks like a pretty sizable amount of metal barring you from entrance.
Like, is there any sort of like mechanical locks on, or is it like barred?
On the outside, it appears that it is padlocked.
Might be able to pick this lock if I had the proper equipment.
That might be an option, but for now, let's report that there's actually an entrance up here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go off to one of the areas where I know the cameras don't often scroll.
So you'd be heading south side, but I would still require a stealth check from the both of you.
Okay. Follow him there.
25 and a 19. You wait for the only remaining camera on the southeast side of the building to pan away, and then you make your quick getaway and return back to the group. You inform them of what you found, and you have all of that newfound information.
So now we do have some type of rooftop egress, and
An entrance.
So you found an entrance on the roof. Was there anything else up there interesting or not?
There's some fans, some ventilation. Rooftop entrance is locked though. I need to get some lockpicking equipment in order to crack that
I
thing.
don't mean to burst your bubble, but I think ventilation fans might be a little bit too claustrophobic for some of us.
That's not the main concern here. There's an access panel. We need to get Vaku the proper tools so we can bust into it.
Right.
This is true. But do we know what's underneath the access panel?
I'm
We
thinking
don't
the
know if
garage
it's leads
extraction.
directly into
Yes,
the
of
garage.
course we don't know what's underneath the access panel. That's why we want to open it.
Can't we just break the lock?
If we,
And risk us jamming the lock and not being able to get in.
I'm more worried about the noise. If they hear somebody
Yeah.
breaking in from the rooftop, that could
That as
potentially
well.
carry south.
How big is the building that we're getting into? Is it just like one story, or is it like big, tall building?
So it is one story, has a simple kind of guided, clad in sheet metal roof. Sheet metal being the railing, not the actual like foundation of the building. It's not that very wealthy. It just looks like a gang hideout, industrial building that was taken over by a small group.
Would it be possible for me to access one of the air conditioning, the vents, and quietly and go through?
You're not
Like-
quite certain, but if you were there and had the means to disable it with your engineering kit, probably.
Yeah. So I'd rather not be have you turn to a bloodstream paste again. Trying to hack into
Well,
something.
this looks like the kind of district where if you wanted to find lockpicks, you could.
Yeah.
So what does the party want to do?
We need to get Vaku some tools since he doesn't have any.
How do
Yep.
you want to go about doing this?
I don't know
I
the
can-
underworld. I'd assume Vaku would know the fucking procedure for that.
Probably find someone that sells like the kind of equipment that we need.
So you go to the nearest hardware store.
Yeah. I mean, they probably sell like various things for like locksmiths. It shouldn't be that hard to acquire that stuff.
Yeah, no, well, you go to the nearest advertised hardware store on your Google Maps, and you do find that there's a pretty gruff-looking human there. By gruff, I mean in poor, dire health, but he was once a big, strong man. So what are you trying
Yeah.
to buy?
Just some locksmith's equipment.
He kind of raises one eye, but without saying a single word, he directs you towards a set of, like, specific tools. You can tell that they aren't necessarily, like, grafting pins. They aren't meant for conventional locks, but, they are, like, specialized tools meant for engineering.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and pick those up?
Yeah, I could probably like fashion some equipment I could use for lock picking out of that.
Something else that you can tell is that, because they are like encased in plastic and emblazoned with company logos, these are likely mass produced and not that good. But he points to the price tag and it does say 35 credits.
If I can't find anything better, then I guess this'll be sufficient.
You are at the nearby hardware store.
He
So if
Oh,
you want
hey,
to go ahead and deduct that 35 credits, and I will reward you with a toolkit.
Okay.
I
I'll spend
imagine-
35.
I imagine Tim
Down
Tom's just
to
sitting there.
98.
It's like, oh hey,
You now
you know,
possess
the
a
new
toolkit.
Wario Hunters 3 just came out.
The what?
Oh, it's a new video game where you get to play all sorts of different characters
How is that
and
relevant?
beat each other up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make small talk. This is a very uncomfortable situation. I'll let you do your purchases. Goodbye. Tim Tom just sits on a bench.
Anybody else want to make some meager purchases from this old, withered man?
Quite frankly, I can't think
No.
of anything you could get from him though.
Perhaps
Alright,
we could use
so
some rope? Maybe? Some sort of like cable to like.
his other eyebrow raises.
How much is a crowbar?
Crowbar. At this point, he just kind of like puts up both of his hands and kind of pantomizes a enough's enough thing, and you get a sense that like he's not very willing to participate in what is clearly preparing for a robbery. So I would require a diplomacy check to assuage him that your intentions are pure, or bluff.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can I
Diplomacy
assist
or
him in any
bluff,
way?
whatever you wish. Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
My bluff's actually a bit higher than my diplomacy, so I roll bluff. It's like,
I will say, if you want to assist a bluff check, it will have to be a bluff check in kind, Tim Tom.
Yes.
So, okay, here you go. So I got to make a bluff check as well.
Yes.
Oh, don't you worry there, friend. You know, me and my friends, we just got locked out of our shed and we gotta get back into it, don't you know?
Yeah. Just having a little bit of trouble at home.
With a bonus of 1, he still manages to roll a 19. He's just kind of
Wow.
like, eh. He doesn't say anything, but he's very clearly ready for you to depart the store.
All right. Fine. See ya.
All right, so you guys make it out with your newfound toolkit. Vaku is now capable of engineering without a negative.
I had negatives before.
Yeah, if you make a engineering check without an appropriate toolkit, you have a -2 modifier to doing it.
Oh.
About
And
that crowbar.
I would honestly say I had just explained why you were not able to purchase the crowbar.
Ah. Yeah, we tried to buy the rope and the crowbar, and he was like, that's a little sus.
An engineering toolkit, which was specifically requested as to locksmithing tools, a set of rope and a crowbar was enough to make this man go, yeah, I don't know, maybe you
That's
guys should
fair.
leave.
That's fair.
So, what are we doing?
That guy was nice.
Once Vaku and Tom back to the store with their items, we're like, okay, we've gathered our relevant information. We know who we're saving. We need to start putting together a tactic and a time to do it. I would think that the sooner we can get this done, the better. So maybe hitting this sometime tonight would be the best time to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Makes sense to me.
come in sometime in the very late of the night, like around midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, when maybe the guards are at lesser capacity. Anybody, as for the exact details of how we should go about this, I suppose we have some options here. I like the idea of using the garage door as a distraction to draw guards away. Maybe while we use the distraction, we can have Vaku and
I think my
somebody
only
else
problem with cracking the garage door open at 1 a.m. is it might wake up the whole base and would defeat the point.
Right, you're right.
Yeah.
So I guess, do we want to just go with the pure stealth approach then? Just try to bring in our stealthiest and quietest through the hatch on the roof and see if we can find our target.
That
Then
would be
maybe
preferable.
Then once we have the target, we can use the garage door to get them out.
Myself and
Yeah.
Darian and those who are less inclined in stealth can lie in wait in case things go south.
Right. I would say wait by the garage so that if something
I'm not
goes
very
wrong, we can pop it open and have
sneaky.
that
I'm
door
kind of
taken care of.
rotund.
Well, I can go with Vaku then. I'm fairly quiet.
I
But
still think
Vaku
we
is
need to
like-
get Vaku back up there to crack open that access panel and see what's
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
The idea is that Vaku and maybe 1 to 2 other individuals who are also
I
on their
would
feet going to the top.
definitely be able to help open that thing. I may
mean-
not be a smith, locksmith, but I can pull things.
You're good with
apart.
your hands and you're mechanically inclined. I imagine those things are interchangeable.
Yeah,
Well,
little bit,
anyways,
it also
so
depends on the type of lab. But
all right, so I really don't have a need for us to have more than 2 teams. So I guess we're gonna have the ground team that's gonna stand by to go inside in case something goes wrong, and then the infiltration team to actually find the hostage and work him down the stairs.
All right.
It w-
How about whenever that garage door opens, the
I'm
rest
not
of us
hoping for
run
that.
in and wreck shit.
We could.
I'm not really sure how
I was
comfortable I am with that idea.
planning on just using the garage to get the hostage out of the building, just in case we can't get him through the rooftop. I really didn't want to actually send them on alert until unless
After
something.
We are not to engage unless absolutely necessary.
Yes.
I know this may be more of a day. I know that combat and violence are more of a day-to-day thing for you guys, but I've personally never even killed somebody in my life, and I'm not trying to start now.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying it'll be better for our resource management and for the safety of the hostage if we don't have to engage in combat.
Yes.
As a backup plan, of course.
As Shiver goes down, Yari just back. Now that I think about it, that was back at the canyon. Was the first time I've killed someone.
Get your head in the game.
Yes, sir.
I kind of fucking shake my head slightly. Now's not the time to be pontificating on our moral objections to killing.
Anyways, I can go up top with Vaku. Yarich, I think you should try to stay with the ground team because you have access to the systems just like I do, which means that you can open the door in case we need to get you out and in case something goes wrong. If I'm incapacitated and I can't open up an escape route and to let the ground team in, that's going to be your responsibility.
Understood.
So, Yarich, Darian, 447, I want you all on the ground. Tim Tom, obviously you'll be with them too, and myself and Vaku will try to find the hostage inside the building.
That does sound like a solid plan, but I find myself wondering why your reach can't go with you. He's slight. He seems like he might be able to evade patrols pretty easily.
He himself said he's not a particularly good sneak. I mean, besides,
Did I say that?
I thought you did. Am I going crazy? Are you actually a fairly good sneak or not?
I think I'm decent.
Yeah, he's proven himself so far.
If that's the case,
I think you could use more support in there rather than just two of you.
Yeah.
Especially given your reach as a computers expert, and you might have more computer trouble in there than we'll have out here.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so myself, you're reaching fucking Christ, Vaku will go in through the top, and everybody else will wait on the ground for the signal. Either A, rush in, or B, get out.
So we're going to be okay. The infiltration team is going in through the roof. I understand that. Where is the ground team going to be positioned?
The ground team needs to be positioned in a place near the garage door that we identified that we can open with the PDAs.
I understand that, but I want to know precisely where. Were there any security cameras near that garage door? I know that Darian said it was patrolled.
Me and Tim Tom saw a spot that we could just wait by it. Listen for it, out of sight.
All right, you two were there, so you know where it is. I'll let you take the lead once we get into
Tim Tom
position.
raises his hand.
Yes, Doctor.
You know, the plan of us getting in there is really good. You know, I think we should really also look into a secondary plan, a tertiary plan, and a plan of evac, because there's no guarantee that once you get a hold of the guy, that stuff won't go, you know,
The plan of
bosoms
evac,
up,
the plan
as
of
they
evac
say.
is as soon as we get the hostage, we only have 2 known ways in and out of the building besides from going through the front fucking door, and that
Does
is either
anyone
taking them
know
back up
who-
through the roof or going down through the door we have access to.
If evacuation through the roof proves impossible or otherwise too difficult to do, then they're going to exit through the garage door, in which case the ground team will provide support.
Where's Wheels? I want to ask him a question.
We're going to have to fill him in on this plan anyway, given that we're waiting until around midnight to 1 a.m. to operate.
Also, I feel like we should have him at a position.
Yes, exactly. We're going to want him positioned in a way that we're going to be able to pile into the vehicle quickly and leave.
I was thinking, we might want blueprints of the floor plan of this facility.
How?
Do we have? Yeah, I don't really know exactly how to get a hold of that other than maybe trying to.
Sounds like
Usually, a lot of these things are public records, but you also have to find the people who built it, the name of the people who built it, the company, and that might give us enough. If I search it on the internet,
that sounds a little more difficult than just hacking into their internal camera system, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't be opposed to the extra information, but this is a very old building by the looks of it. I have to wonder how much changed over the years and what modifications have been done in the meantime to make these blueprints irrelevant.
Your reach, how long do you reckon it would take you to acquire any blueprints?
Maybe most an hour.
All right. I say you follow that lead and see what you can dig up.
Tim Tom also raises up his hand again to ask another question.
Yes.
Some of you mentioned that you had some sort of wireless access to the internals of the facility.
That was attempted. I don't know if anything ever came of it.
Well, if we can get some sort of wireless communication to the inside, we might be able to use that to scout out potentially where guards are going. Or where things are.
So I've already accessed their systems to the highest extent that I can, and they don't have their security system on a different internal loop than the rest of the facility. If we were going to get into the security systems, we'd have to have an actual proper hard line, which is probably inside of the building anyways. So we'd have to get inside the building just to access the security systems inside of the building.
It's either on a different hardline or being controlled over a different Wi-Fi entirely.
I gave a pretty good look as to the systems of the building, and I didn't see an externally accessible network that their security's on. They must have it segmented off because they must not be completely clueless about how to run their security.
Reminder that the slug does want the slicer back, and the slicer is responsible for these electronic defenses.
Right. I mean, yeah, that is fair. That means that they do have somebody on their systems that is ostensibly aware of what they're doing. He must be pretty good at his job. Otherwise, I don't know why we'd be bothering to save him.
Regardless, if we're going to go ahead and move on this around midnight or 1 a.m., that'll give Reach plenty of time to explore possible ways to dig up blueprints. In the meantime, we need to relay this plan to our driver and figure out where we're going to position him.
I almost wonder if
what
there's
we're going to
a way
be
we could
doing in the
cut-
meantime.
I almost have to wonder if there's some type of way we could cut power to the building, but I don't really want to be stumbling around in the dark myself, honestly.
We would need our own way to navigate if that were the case.
Not only that, but I guess the sudden loss of power could potentially be a giant red flag if these guys are potentially
Massive red flag.
certainly. Yeah.
My helmet helps me see in the dark.
Well, if we're going to be raiding this place at night anyways, most of the place is going to be hopefully offline.
There's likely to be guards still going around if they know what good, but
Here's a question. Is it a hot day?
So the day out is actually not that hot. Most of the temperatures in this surrounding region, as long as you're not in the Badlands, are pretty nice, honestly.
There goes a plan. Do you think we could, like, I don't know, shove something in their air conditioning to stop it?
that's a bad idea.
You want to
Why?
split them out?
It makes a lot of noise if we were to shove it.
I
Maybe
don't know about that, but honestly, tampering with the HVAC systems is kind of an entertaining concept.
but
How
maybe
hot's
I
it
could shut down.
I don't know. If you were to tamper with their HVAC systems, there's a very good chance they'd send someone up to the roof to check on it.
Might be the point.
Well, if that's their point of egress, I'd rather them not be snooping around that area.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Although we could possibly use that as a distraction and enter through the main area.
I would rather have no distractions, honestly, if we're going to go the stealth route. We need them to make sure, we need to give the impression that nothing is out of the ordinary, nothing is wrong. If you put people on alert, they will be on alert. Let's just make them believe this is any other given weekday, and that they don't know they're about to get broken into and have somebody taken from out under their
Hopefully
nose.
Slicer doesn't flip out when he sees strangers come up on him.
Yeah, we're going to have to make sure we can convince him to come with us, but if he really is a hostage in this situation, I believe he should come along willingly.
I think we've done about as much planning as we can do.
Yeah, everything else is going to have to be on the fly. Besides, there's a saying that I'm pretty sure you're aware with 447. No plan survives first contact.
Exactly. Let's get
Well,
back to
I'm
the
ready.
driver.
So, you go back and explain the entire situation to Wheels. Is there anything else you want to do before the time for the operation begins?
I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
All right.
I'm going to ask Wills if he knows who manufactured this building.
What do I look like, an architect?
Fair enough. I
You
thought
do
might.
realize that, like, my entire career is just driving vehicles, right?
So, you know how in real life you can see some of those like shitty metal buildings have like company logo on the end caps, like star buildings and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Was there such a mark on this building?
Give me an intelligence check to remember.
Alrighty.
I'm going to give my own intelligence.
My intelligence is actually very bad.
Here's my
I'm
intelligence check.
a fucking turbo
19.
skills monkey with a +1 in intelligence.
As you bring up that point and try to think back, you just recall looking for practical information and not really paying attention to anything that wasn't mission relevant. However, Yarreach, you actually remembered not far away from this place on an old billboard that was practically like rusted and weathered away. There was a label for a company that went by the acronym EGU.
I'm going to begin look up on the web EGU for the.
It is fairly easy considering that this is a local like internet sphere.
Mhm.
You figure out pretty fast that the EGU stands for the Engineers Guild United.
All right, I'm going to look up their website if they have one.
Looks like they do have a website. However, most of it is just general information about the company and essentially like a commune at contact in order to get a hold of their customer service.
Okay, with that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look up public records reserving buildings, and I'm going to hyphenate it with must have EGU.
Go ahead and give me a computers check. A 21, you find on whatever public records are available, considering that Halen's has been recently retrofitted in the last 60 years and a lot of buildings are new compared to the olden style architecture. There are EGU style buildings, and you find a varied list of them before you come upon the one that most resembles the one that you are currently dealing with. However, from what you can tell, there are entire new segments on the one that you were exploring that are not on this blueprint, meaning that over these years and its abandonment, it has been like changed. So these
Alright.
records may not be up to date.
They're definitely not up to date, but they'll at least give us a fracture of what we might expect for the core area.
So,
Like-
from what you can tell, this was a blueprint for a mechanics shop. More specifically, it was originally designed with the intention to distribute it to like a one of those massive corporations that has buildings all over the fucking place. Basically, a whatever the fuck you want to call them. I don't know any popular mechanic corporations, but
O'Reilly.
It's a fucking Jiffy Lube.
it's basically a Jiffy Lube.
Oh fuck.
However, it has been changed. You get the sense that the biggest section of the building would be the garage, and it seems that there were 4 separate rooms north of that garage, which serviced and keeping parts in stock and serving as essentially a customer service station where they could come in and talk about their problems.
Alright, I'm gonna bring this up after looking all that up. And refer to emphasize that this building has been changed dramatically since its creation.
Well, quite frankly, that was but I suppose it was a good idea and it was worth the effort, but it's a shame that I don't think we could really lean on these as a valuable source of information anymore.
Understood. It was rather a backup check.
Go ahead and send me and the rest of the team a copy of these blueprints just in case we can glean something from these in the heat of the moment, but
Alright,
we'll just have to see if they become situationally useful. And then from there, I just have nothing else for you.
With your preparations complete, you wait until late in the night before you decide to put your plan into action. So, who is going onto the building?
I
Me.
will.
Not
Vaku
me.
And
Yeah, it's Vaku, Reach, and Ankos.
Myself. So
Who's
3
staying behind and where are you hiding?
Myself, Tim Tom, and Darian are rather Darian and Tim Tom found an area near the garage that was out of sight line. We're gonna go wait there.
All right. So, the 3 of you clamber onto the overpass. If you're going to try and make a another stealthy descent, go ahead and give me whatever checks you feel are worthy. Each gives me a reflex saving throw. However, he does fail it, and it does hurt him quite a bit. So you take 2 points of physical damage as you come to a rough landing, your wings not providing as much lift as you intended. Not that bad.
This is a check to get up the building, yes?
Yes, you are literally jumping off of an overpass. You go and make a leap, and about I don't know, 10, 15 feet of air rushes past you and you come to a rolling stop, kind of skidding. Vaku.
He might still be in the bathroom.
Excellent. So, for the moment, Vaku is gone. What do you two want to do now?
Well,
Alright, I'm going to go
while
to
we're waiting on
access
Vaku
panel
to come-
and try to begin slowly pulling it apart and
What, the
As
access
quietly-
panel?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me an engineering check.
as he does this, I'll provide lookout. Being that I haven't been up here, can I do a quick perception check to make sure there's not some hidden camera up here that they didn't catch earlier?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I doubt this will yield anything, but, 25.
Perception, you go ahead and give your general rounds, trying to take heed of being somewhat cautious and stealthy. You get a sense that whatever person was stationed at the garage door is now gone. However, you do still hear and partially see the two cameras on the north and southwest side of the building. That being said, as you are making your rounds, you eventually hear a stiff pop as the moth has basically unslotted the fucking axis poles that are keeping this panel kind of firmly secured. And with a bit of a wrenching, he gets this thing open to a standard in which you could crawl inside without difficulty.
Very nice. Whenever he opens up this vent, I'm going to make a quick announcement via message on our intercom saying the outside guard is gone. He might be inside.
I will just respond, understood. We're currently waiting.
Right, so I'm going to wait for Vaku to finally make his way down from the next building, because as I assume he, tripped over a fucking banana peel or something, and it's just taking bearings.
He's just surrounded by banana peels.
Flip. Flip.
He
flip.
stopped because he saw a piece of bread and is trying to eat it.
He was walking down the overpass, and for some reason there was a bench and an old man with thick, dark glasses, probably blind, throwing breadcrumbs.
Quack, quack, quack.
So, do you want to wait for Sam?
Yeah, I'll wait for him.
Go ahead and pause the recording.
Alright.
Vaku, make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check. Jump in.
Yeah, you also stumble and, I don't know, break your knee or something. Let me roll some damage. 2 points, like the moth. So you kind of skin your ankle, I don't know.
Shit.
You see the rest of your companions looking
A loose-
open access.
That comes out of my
hatch.
stamina, correct?
Yeah, that'll go
Yes.
out of your stamina.
Kind of fumble a little bit.
Why did it sound like that? Anyways, seeing upon the Vaku has arrived, I'm gonna look at Yari and go, alright, well, we've got our full team in, and you've got that door open. We need to go in, we need to be very slow and very careful. Check your corners, and we need to make sure we verify where the hostage is.
I'm going to slide in sneakily and almost slither my way.
Slither moth.
A moth slithering. Go ahead. You three give me stealth checks.
Here's where the one comes out.
I imagine it's like from SpongeBob, where SpongeBob is just laying prone on the ground and just caterpillaring his way through.
No!
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, the nat 20, nat 1 rules usually don't apply to skill checks.
But
They
that's
do.
that's still a
Encourage your
wretched.
enthusiasm, please.
Even if they don't, that's still
That's
a
still-
fucking 7, dude.
That
Yeah,
is a
7's still not great, though.
abysmal roll.
I guess we're gonna go
Bach
loud sooner than
trips over
fucking
it.
expected.
Stack of
0
cans
point,
that
0
was just
point, 0
conveniently
point.
sitting there.
0 points don't exist in
And start wave.
Starfinder.
I know.
Install wave.
So, you guys go ahead and creep inside, slowly making your way down the access shaft. First one is Yarich, who kind of goes down one rung at a time before he hits the floor and skitters over next to a vehicle. The second one is Ankos Orion, and whenever you put a foot onto this ladder and start traversing your way down, you start hearing it rattle around as if it were loose, and that is not good for a ladder. You make it down, but you make a lot of noise in the process. Vaku, as you are making your way down the ladder, it actually detaches from the wall, and just like you are forced to jump down and make superhero landing right next to your party members as it.
And it lands to a thing of cans.
What the f is this?
Hey, can we not do shit like this while I'm recording, please?
Okay,
Thanks.
What
sorry.
the fuck was that?
All right. So, as the ladder goes ahead and makes contact with the floor, loudly resounding throughout the entire facility, immediately, all three of you, which are just behind the cover of a handful of crates and what looks like piles of just scrap and discarded like car parts, it looks like. What was that?
What?
You hear like a screech, almost feral and
Is
animal-like.
is the door above us still closed, or is it still open?
The access panel, which no longer has a ladder, is still wrenched open.
Fuck.
Damn.
We need to get out of this room now. And can I hear what sound that direction came from? Are there footsteps?
Yeah, no,
in the
you
hallway?
can actually hear skittering.
Skittering. Oh, I hate that. Okay. We are going to try and find our way out of this room into a different hallway and get away from anybody who can
Yeah.
investigate the scene.
I'm
We need to
going-
get
You should
away
find a
from
place to
the
hide.
situation. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to skitter out of it silently away from the.
So
sound.
yeah, the moth, you kind of go your separate ways from the other two party members. The other two, you cross through this room, which is evidently the garage, and you see a handful of things. You see the closed garage door. And you see two doors on the other side of the room where the skittering is coming from, and where you are standing right now appears to be a cluttered mess of parts. And there is a door to your right on your side of the room that leads to a room unknown.
I will try to go into the room unknown.
Yeah, let's go to the room to the right.
That's where I'm heading.
Away from the fucking skittering noises.
Yeah, all three of you go ahead and open up this door and immediately proceed into what is evidently the bathroom. There are a couple of stalls on either side of you, and a sink just to your right. As you close the door behind you, you can actually hear like screeching, and it's essentially just hollering at everybody that something just fucking happened. And as soon as they make it into the room, just kind of giving a general listen, you do hear whatever that like screeching creature is like telling the others that like something's fucking wrong. Like that ladder was supposed to get tagged out and nobody fucking did it. That thing was really unstable. Why the hell is the access panel open? And they're just generally filling out the garage right now.
I'm going. Okay.
I have
in
an
the
idea.
room we're in, are there ceiling panels?
I mean, in the bathroom,
Like you know how in office buildings you have
The
that
removable
little
ceiling tiles.
Yeah,
ceiling
yeah. There's
tile.
usually little ceiling tiles
Like
on
you
the
can just
bathrooms and
you
most
can
like
just you
corporate
can just
places.
push up on them and like scoot them aside.
that is present here indeed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm going to quietly try to sneak through the tiles.
So
You're probably the only one light enough to actually crawl up in there.
I'm aware, but if
If
I
I-
can't get to our target, this is gonna be a failure either way.
So hold on, I'm thinking about something. They've all piled into the garage, right? And they're looking for us.
Yes.
We have a fully armed extraction team on the other side of that door.
Ooh.
They could
I'm
get hit
going
from
to
two
pull up
directions.
my
If we want to
tablet.
drop the ruse of stealth altogether, we could fucking hammer these guys.
Okay. How about this? That will provide, seeing as we gone loud unintentionally because
Maybe about this. Yarich?
Actually,
find
I
hostage.
have a question. From the outside, could the loud team hear the fucking clattering of that ladder?
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
you probably could.
Yeah,
Okay, so
so-
I'm actually gonna fucking get on the comm unit. Heard some noises. What's going on in there?
Okay, I'm gonna get back on my comm. I was gonna make this call here in a second, anyways.
Lot broke.
The
Fell into a bunch of metal bits.
we got
And
discovered coming in. This is my
They're
comm.
The door
they're
beginning
looking
to creak
for us.
open.
I'm
For
going
the
to
bathroom?
slide
Yes.
into.
Fuck,
ceiling
I'm gonna put
panels.
down the comm and I'm going to roll under one of the stalls for a
So
second.
I assume I heard Vaku explain the ladder broke, and they're kind of a little bit of in a pinch.
I'm just gonna try to like
I'm gonna
hide in the fucking corner in like a way that where the door wouldn't real.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then hearing them abruptly stop talking, I'm gonna stay silent so they don't potentially hear my voice through the
yeah,
comm.
you can go ahead and do that. I would say that the moth, you would probably need to get on top of one of the stalls. There is a climb equivalent in this game, athletics. I'd like you to roll in athletics for me. So you're trying
Alright.
to quickly and efficiently make your way into the roof tiles. That
Do
is
you
an
want me to-
excellent check, and you climb up onto one of the roof stalls. The door starts to swing open, but you manage to balance and keep it closed. You push open one of the roof tiles, and you slip inside.
Do you
Bit
want me to
louder
make-
than you'd like, but all right. Now, Ankos, since you are just going prone and rolling underneath a stall, please give me a not a stealth saving throw, a stealth skill check.
Oh,
A
wow. Okay.
24. You do a barrel roll right into a wet puddle,
Ugh.
and you hope to God it isn't what you think it is. But
So-
you feel fairly hidden.
When I make-
Vaku,
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna roll stealth too.
yes, you're hiding behind the corner of the door.
Also a 24.
Wow.
You,
Nice.
you all vanish like ghosts. On ghosts, what's your reaction to rolling into a
Imagine
mystery
like
puddle?
cockroaches
My
hiding away from
reaction
fucking
is
light.
while this guy's coming in, we have somebody directly in front of us. The ground team knows something's up. I'm gonna send a message out. Go loud, and then I'm going to send a command to open the garage door.
So I assume this is just a text message I see pop up on my fucking comm unit. Just 2 words: go loud. I slide my comm unit away and rack my hunting rifle and just turn to Darian and the bear. We're going in.
Hey, what?
You
Wait,
can see
what?
Darian look up and
Did they not? Have
through
they
the
gotten a hold
helmet
of the
you
guy
hear
yet?
We're
excitement.
going loud right now. Let's move.
As all of you are making your way into the building, that door finally creaks all the way open, and the first thing that appears out of the crevice is a twitching rat nose.
Oh
The
God!
whiskers poke through and kind of flick just a little bit, adjusting to whatever air's in here. And then shortly followed by the nose is the heat-shielded barrel of what appears to be some kind of flame weapon.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh,
whenever the doors open, whenever there is a distraction, I am going to stealth attack this fucking thing that's in the room with us.
I will likewise stealth attack as well.
I would have just wanted to run right at this man and just deck him in the face with a fist.
So yeah, as this thing creeps inside in its full form, it is a smaller creature, definitely like a humanoid rat, garbed in a simple utility vest and meager scraps of clothing. The only thing of note about him is the fact that he is holding a pistol, which appears to be resembling a flamethrower of a kind. As he steps in, just kind of like cautious, nervous air. Come out. And he's flicking this pistol around to the little hidden corners of the room, completely unknowing that there are individuals in there with him.
You think I could try to like knock him out?
So-
Yari's going to climb through
how long
the
that door to
ceiling
open up?
panels towards the area.
We're not
where
focusing on the
he-
outside team right now.
I
Yeah.
imagine as you all are going aloud, you make it to the front of the building, and the garage door starts opening, and you realize that it's one of those really slow garage doors.
Actually, hey, if the garage door's opening slowly, I'm gonna signal Dog and the Doc to take cover on either side of the door so that they don't immediately see us when it opens, so that we can pop
Yeah.
out by surprise and shoot them.
Tim Tom will take the right side, has his pistol drawn in
Fucking
one hand,
Star Wars
and his
Republic
fucking
Commando
needle baton in the
bridging
other.
strategies here.
Christ.
Oh, we need some combat.
So
music
you
for
you
this.
know what I'm thinking, Levi, right? The
I'm
doors,
not- I'm
the
not
doors,
changing
the
music
door.
now.
Whatever. You know what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where are you hiding in particular, Brian?
I am on the side with Darian since the bear is a bit too big for me to be taking cover with him.
Fair's fair. So what do you all do in the room with the rat?
I was gonna try to like do like a sneak attack. I'm just trying to like see if I could like try to like maybe like fucking what's the word?
Incapacitate.
Yeah, incapacitate him.
All right, so you sneak up behind him, kind of passing out of the doorway and giving a a gentle nudge with your leg to shut the door, and it silently comes closed. You creep up right behind the rat. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Athletics.
So you reach out with both arms, and because of your high roll in this regard, and this thing being a small creature of little strength, your first arm wraps immediately around his throat, and your muscles tense up and prevent any air from leaving his lungs. And your second arm goes to restrain his pistol hand, and immediately he is just choking and coughing and hacking and trying to exclaim, but he is panicking. What are you doing with him?
Gonna fucking ooh.
Hold him in that position until he passes out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking like let him. Just gonna let him calm down and just go to sleep.
So this rat whose beady, bloodshot, yellowed eyes are staring murderous daggers into yours just continue to struggle and fight to breathe. Give me another athletics check.
Go to sleep, little rat.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
And as you are fighting, he manages to like get loose just a little bit and goes for his pistol and tries to aim it at you. Still choking, but he is very clearly about to fire his pistol. What's going on?
Can one of the other two people in the room make a rush
Not
at him to
in
try and
the
grab his
room
pistol?
anymore, really. I can't
Tyler's
see
not
what.
in the room anymore.
Well, I'm still in the room, and I'd like to
I-
try and help him control the situation if I can.
I could roll sleight of hand to like disarm him, right?
I would say that'd be more of a attack roll or one of your contested athletics checks. What were you wanting to do, Ankos?
If I see that he's starting to lose, now that I've seen he's attacked the rat, I want to run up to help. So I want us to.
You worm your way out of the puddle, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and roll a initiative check for him to see at what point he would act, and I would like you to do the same.
So we're all
Right.
rolling initiative in this room.
This is not a combat. This is to determine what turn order this
Yeah.
goes off, and
I don't know exactly where. I guess
you
there's
would
not.
click your character profile. You would go to Ankos Orion, and then you would roll your. I assume
There's a
let's go
little.
ahead and 1d20 plus your
Yeah, that's.
regular initiative modifier, which is 5.
I was just looking to see if there was like an immediate that I could do, but
I
there
thought
is.
there would be, but there isn't.
Yeah, kind of surprising, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just your dexterity modifier.
22. I have a
It's
lot
12.
of finish.
What is Vaku's?
Let's see here.
A 6. So, Ankos, you managed to worm your way out of the puddle and run up to this encounter. And now this rat, seeing that there are 2 people to his 1, what do you try and do?
I forget. Does my pistol have a suppressor or fucking not?
No, it is just a gun.
Well, that'd be too loud then. So Vaku, he has his mouth restrained still, so if he tried to scream, he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to grab his arm that has the pistol in it. I'm going to grab one by the wrist, one by somewhere between the midpoint of the shoulder and the elbow, and I'm going to break his arm.
Oh my god. Give me a...
Strength?
Yeah, give me an athletics check. Why not? Because that's a strength-based thing. Your
This
physical
fucking rat is
Gladly.
getting bullied hard.
Oh,
24.
Nice.
My god. I'm going to give him a feeble attempt to try and stop this.
No.
2. So, what ends up happening is that Vaku comes in, silently closes the door behind him. The rat is paranoidly looking around and aiming his flamethrower pistol. Vaku grabs him from basically the scruff of the neck, wraps an arm around his throat, and goes for his gun. They struggle for a bit where Vaku is basically telling the rat to go to sleep. He frees his arm, goes for his pistol, and tries to shoot it at the bird to try and crisp him up a bit. And Ankos, just in this sheer adrenaline-fueled fury, worms his way out of the puddle, walks right up to this encounter as fast as he can, and then takes both hands on this rat's arm and just elbow drops it. And there is a crack, and the pistol drops from his hand. With that, as you all are struggling, the life in the rat's eyes fades, and he goes limp.
Ah. Holy shit.
God damn.
After this happens, and after he drops, I'm just going to stand there, kind of looking at my hands. I'm going to walk over to the sink and put my hands over the counter as if I'm about to fucking puke.
So as you do so, give me let me check, life science check.
Life science.
You know, if you just
This will be
stuffed him
rolled
into
at
if you stuffed him into a stall and locked it, they just think he was having a really bad day.
I'm gonna have to make a thing for this because it has that stupid fucking jack of all trades bullshit assigned to it. 18.
Face.
An 18.
Yep.
You quickly identify this as a skulls. Sorry for the dogs, but I'm going to like ignore them or mute myself.
Didn't even hear him.
Skulv originated as essentially a clone servant race for the Tenebrous Imperium, but ended up freeing themselves through their own sheer arrogance and like just tenacity, and spread throughout the scars like your stars like a plague. So these guys are basically dime a dozen, and their main personality attribute is being dickbags.
Oh, I shouldn't feel bad about that. God, the fucking crunch.
The crunch.
And and then I'm gonna turn around and just kind of like slap, maybe take some water out of the sink and splash my face with it. Then I'm gonna pick up the weapon that this rat thing dropped and shove it in my pocket.
Vaku, what are you doing with the body?
Just gonna like stuff in one of the stalls.
I imagine as you are going to pick up the pistol, you turn around and Vaku is like sitting him on the toilet and closing the stall door.
So as I take the pistol, I'm going to then walk to the door and I'm going to grab the handle and very slowly and very methodically open it to look into the room beyond.
So, as you do that, this garage door finally reaches like the halfway point where you can start to see inside. And immediately you start hearing screams. There are 3 people in this garage entrance. One is to the left, hidden behind scrap. One is like behind a very broken down buggy. And the right one is through a doorway leading to another room. And they all have their guns prepared and they are all in a standoff. None of them have fired yet, but like they're screaming for you to fuck off. Like they're wondering what's going on. They are paranoid. They're getting ready to start shooting.
I'm going to close the door slowly behind me and I'm going to go to Vaku. Get in the ceiling. Get around these guys. Get ready to flank them. That garage door has our teammates inside of it. We need to turn them around. Get fire on them so that we can hit them from 2 sides.
So
I'm already crawling through the ceiling.
So
and
the
trying
garage door
to-
still isn't all the way open yet, right?
Yeah, it's about halfway.
I'm gonna kind of tilt my head towards Dorian in a very low voice. Any grenades?
So you want me to make an athletics check to
Sorry,
climb
I
up
muted.
the?
Yeah, I want you to get in the ceiling, and I want you to get in a position to where you can shoot these guys in the back. I'm not that athletic. I'm just gonna have to shoot through the door.
So Darian's answer would be, "That's not my style," but you'll see what mine is. And he's going to, since the people are shouting at them, Darian is going to shout back, "If you don't drop your guns and come out here, I'm going to break your fucking necks."
Oh god, give me an intimidate check.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm fucking, of course.
My intimidate isn't great, but I'll try to assist. You're completely and utterly outnumbered. If you don't give up now, your death is assured. Here's my assist. Fuck!
So, with a roll of a 10, amidst this screaming and hectic conflict, let's take a break and let's see what Tyler and Vaku are doing. So, Vaku, you're tall enough that I'll say that you don't even need an athletics check to get into the ceiling. As soon as you reach the ceiling tiles and kind of put a hand on one,
Yeah.
your weight flexes the flimsy wooden, like the flimsy metal supports. And what is that, drywall that they suspend from the ceiling?
Yeah.
You want to crawl in there?
No. Best you can do is come over here. I'm going to guide them to the edge of the wall.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to lift up the 2 pieces, and I'm going to say you can try to climb on top of the wall. Wait, is the ceilings connected, or is
The ceiling hangs over everything. The walls are just like they're segmented, so you could technically bypass the rooms if you're crawling to the ceiling tiles.
That's what I'm going to guide him to do, is just go to the edge of the wall,
Yeah,
crawl
sure.
over top.
You're wanting him to sit on top of a wall, essentially.
Basically,
I
yes.
guess. Like, so there's like a little. I guess there's like a little like ledge that I can
Yeah,
just kind of like shimmy around.
There is essentially a portion of this drywall that is much more stable than the others because it is sitting literally on a wall. So you crawl up onto this, and you are now there. Congratulations. Tyler, what are you doing?
I'm going to guide them into the next room.
You're gonna guide him into the garage?
No, the room beside the bathroom, not into the garage.
So you want to get into the rooms across the garage.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so Vaku, I would like you to give me some kind of skill check, your choice, that shows how you bypass the simple drywall ceilings.
Like.
You are trying to traverse an area that is like not going to support your weight.
Oh boy. I guess I can make an acrobatics check, see if I can just like distribute my weight as evenly as possible.
That sounds good. Give me one of those.
Uh,
A 13. So as the moth is guiding Vaku across this like ceiling panel territory, shimmying and shimmying, you get about halfway and you start to hear what almost sounds like wood or chalk breaking.
no.
And you look around you and you can hear the
I'm going to say, get down, 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 now.
and
Thank you.
as everybody is screaming in the garage, everybody stops for a second and they see a bubble forming in the ceiling.
No. No.
And then it just fractures and full on Vaku falls from the roof and lands directly onto the car on all fours.
Okay, you know what? Hearing this loud cracking noise followed by a thud.
You see Vaku fall out of the ceiling from the
Well,
drywall.
I'm not
and
in the doorway of the garage, so I probably wouldn't see anything.
Right,
So
right.
hearing this shit, hearing a loud enough sufficient noise to assume something happened, I'm gonna pop out and shoot at the nearest fucking enemy.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
All right.
Yeah, if they haven't seen me yet, if I have some type of surprise, I would like to take a fucking sneak at you guys too.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I just want to run at somebody and punch them in the face, all right? I'm a simple man.
I will consider this Ankos' surprise round, and Centurion offered first. All right. So, between your choice, there is the scrap metal pile, the pile behind the people behind the car, the one person behind the car, and the person in the doorway. Who are you shooting, Brian?
The person with the least amount of cover.
That would probably be the scrap metal person. So you go ahead and impact it, and immediately as some of the like scrap metal starts to fracture and break apart from the hunting rifle shot, you hear one of them scream, "No, that was my distributor! I've been saving that!" And then immediately, Uncos Orion, are you shooting the same person?
I will shoot at whoever seems to be the best focus target. If I see a shot ring out first or somebody we can take down, I'm going to target them too.
Yeah, you also shoot the scrap metal person. Go ahead and roll me
Levi.
regular damage.
Levi.
Sneak
What do
attack
you-
bonus.
what
Oh
do
yeah,
you
because
want?
he's aware now.
As this happens, I too would also like to snap off a shot using one of my inhibitors.
Go right ahead. Go ahead and make a pistol shot.
Cool.
Well-
I am using the inhibitor. You're a mild hallucinogenic.
Alrighty.
Do it.
What does that do, Pertel?
It gives them the encumbered feat, or the encumbered. So the description states, your inhibitor is a mild hallucinogenic to a living creature's body, making it difficult for the target to move or act. The target gains the encumbered condition and must succeed a fortitude save, or also gain the entangled condition as a mind affecting poison.
What did you say he would gain if you failed it?
He would gain the
Angled.
entangled condition,
All right, so I've got that
but
noted
he
down.
would
Go ahead and
automatically get
go
the
ahead and make
encumbered
a pistol
condition.
shot.
Alright. Come on, bitch. No.
You got a full hit on that. I just realized that.
Yep.
A
That was
21, the inhibitor goes off without a hitch, and I will make a saving throw. This is fortitude. What was the
Yes.
saving throw DC? Probably
I don't-
less than 22.
Yeah, I think so.
So you go ahead and in this quick in between, one shot goes to the scrap pile. He screams about his fucking distributor. One shot from Ankos Orion in the bathroom, and it hits this dude full force, and he reels backwards into the scrap and looks like he's dead. Timothy Thomas, you go ahead and take aim at the same dude and shoot him. And there's just a simple, as a dart impacts him and immediately injects something into him.
You want me to roll damage?
I believe that if you use your inhibitor, does it still do damage?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll damage. 4 points for a total of 10. You hear that hissing noise and a reel of pain, and it becomes very evident that this man is just suffering now. So,
This
At
guy
the
is
current-
tripping balls.
yeah, at this current moment, there is one man tripped out on hallucinogenics off in a far-off corner, a man behind a car, and a man in the doorway. Darian, who are you taking on?
I guess I'm going to try and tackle the man by the car.
All right, go ahead and give me a melee attack roll, because I'll assume that you can make it there within time.
Probably. So let's go with good old entropic strike.
So you rush forward, just kind of in the midst of some of the uneasy and panicked snapshot fire, which kind of easily plinks into the wall behind you, and bring up your fist, and with one mighty stroke, a bit of that warping energy forms around your fist and comes down on him. Go ahead and roll damage.
And whenever he does hit him, he's just going to shout, "I wasn't lying," and try and hit him right in the jaw.
So you impact him directly in the side of the face, and his head kind of snaps back for a bit, and with the sheer brunt force damage that it inflicts, you now have this person cornered in melee combat. So, with our current party standards, this gunfight is essentially, like, heavily in your favor. How do you want to finish off your opponents? Dog, you are in the middle of a fight with some random Joe Schmo behind a car. There is a man in a doorway which looks like he is immediately turning to escape. And there is a man riddled with gunshots and
So-
currently on drugs.
If anyone's
So if I can say mine,
Yeah, go on.
what I would want to do is, I'm sure you'd try to pull the gun on me,
Yeah, no, he's
grab him
immediately
by the
going for his
wrist,
gun.
push him into the car, kick his leg to knock him down, like kick his leg to knock him down on his knees, and then knee right into his face, right into the car to knock him out or kill him, either or.
So I imagine there is a breath and exclamation of panic as soon as you pin his knee to the ground and then bring your knee up to his face, and there is a crunch and he is out like a light. Do you intend to kill or incapacitate him?
Let's just leave it 50-50.
Go ahead and roll the dice then. Low will be kill, high will be incapacitate. So, you go ahead and slam your knee into this guy's face, and he reels backwards, hits his head on the car, and then falls like completely unconscious on the ground. What do we intend to do with the guy in the doorway?
Tim Tom would like to fire at him, if that's okay.
Yeah, go.
But
Cool.
then
Oh, is he fleeing?
incapacitated her?
Yeah, no, he's running back into the back rooms.
Is he?
Hmm.
Are you shooting him with the incapacitator?
I don't have an incapacitating round. I do have. Hang on, let me pull it up. I can reduce the target's resistance. I can give a target -2 penalty to AC. Give the target reduce a target's resistance to one type of energy, or I can trip him out on drugs. Fuck it. Tim Tom's gonna load up another hallucinogenic dart, and he's gonna pop him in the butt.
So you shoot him in the back of the shoulder, and this guy retreats into the back rooms, and you just start hearing this strange combination of pain and confusion and fear. What do you guys want to do? You are now in the garage with two technically incapacitated individuals.
Yari just going to continue going through ceilings just to keep
All
quiet.
right.
And try to find our target.
I'm not sure tipping them off before we jumped them was a great idea, but it worked out.
Yeah.
So,
Considering that people are unconscious and there's a possibility that they wake up, Darian is going to put restraints on them.
fair. Do you want to
Yeah.
get them in the same place, or just leave them where they are and restrain them?
I guess if there's a pole or something, like, tie him to that.
I mean, it's a garage, so I assume there's a pole.
Hey, Levi.
You know what? Break the car window, open it, and hook them around the car.
I'll stay here and
Hey,
watch the
Levi.
sleeping ones. I say a few of you head further in.
Matt.
What kind of weapons do they have? Can we loot their bodies?
It looks like they have cobbled together weaponry. What exactly are you looking for?
Weapons, ammo, possible explosives, useful things.
The only thing that you find on one of these guys is a very weak and feeble-looking scattergun. The rest of the weapons have been scattered to the ground or were damaged in the conflict.
Like a shotgun?
Yeah, scattergun.
So we took out all the enemies in this room, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yari just climbing through ceilings.
So as I was going to say,
We need to take this one at a time now.
Alright.
Okay. So they're probably going to send reinforcements at some point,
how do we know
I
that?
assume.
Cat said this was a small localized gang. I'm not sure they have reinforcements. This might have been it. I'll watch over this. I'll stay in here and watch over the sleeping ones. The rest of you should go ahead, move further into the building, chase after the runner, find the hostage, and get him out.
Let's see
Yeah.
if there's a real welcoming committee, because these chumps weren't worth the time.
DM, I would like to take the shotgun.
Yeah, you go ahead and pick it up and chamber it, and immediately a spent shell shoves out of it. I have added the scattergun to your inventory.
So the rat guy that we fucking took out, did he have anything else on besides that flame pistol thing?
If you want, you can make a perception check and check out his inventory.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are you looking for?
He could have some money on him, like maybe some keys, maybe just anything that might be useful.
Okay.
Perception, you said?
Yeah. So you go ahead and check his pockets, and you do find a small hidden cache of 50 credits. So I'll add that to your inventory.
Nice.
So while the rest of the party moves up and I'm on guard duty, I would like to scavenge around for hunting rifle ammo, grenades, and credits.
Alright. You don't find any grenades on these gangers. It does not look like they were well equipped. However, you do find a number of long arm ammunition. Collecting them from all of the members of this group, you find somewhere around the realm of 13 rounds of ammunition that aren't spent.
Sweet.
Hey, Levi.
Any credits?
Did I?
Oh, credits? I would say that for that, we're talking about a dependable amount of valuables depending on what you can scavenge from this place, so that would be a perception check.
Alright, we'll do that.
Hey, Levi.
Attributes over here.
Yes, Matt.
I apologize. I'll get back to you once Brian's done with his thing.
So 5, you go ahead and dig around through the pockets and like rummaging through some of the more plain and open things. You find 5 creds off of each of the unconscious / dead bodies for a total of 15, and then you find 10 in a register that is just conveniently open.
So 25 credits total.
Correct.
Okay,
you can
cool.
add that to your inventory. I'll do it for you.
I'll do it.
All right. What do you want to do, Matt?
Did I find any shotgun ammo on the guy?
I will say that the shotgun is currently at 1 spent shell, meaning that you have 3 shots remaining. I'm going to fire it once in order to spend a shell.
Okay.
And while I'm standing around, I'll reload my weapon.
All right. Other than that, you don't find any spare ammunition.
Okay.
Okay. Tyler, did you want to do something?
I'm going to crawl through the ceiling still and try to find my way towards where a lot of the wires intersect to each other.
All right, make me an engineering check. Okay, 22. You figure out that a lot of the hardline wires for the security of this place lead to what appears to be an office and the most westward in the middle of the building side of the facility. Do you want to go ahead and make it there and then drop down through a ceiling tile?
Yes.
So you crawl inside and make your way in. Go ahead and move out one of the panels, and you drop down.
I will do it stealthily, though.
All right. If you want, make a stealth check. An 11. So, you
Am
go
I making a
ahead.
stealth check as well, or?
You are not currently accompanying the moth, who has departed from the rest of the group. You're looting stuff off of the dead rat. So,
Okay.
you drop down. You hit the concrete floor below you, and you go ahead and look up. And what you find are a bunch of computer screens. And this
Token vision,
very
Levi.
what
I
token
do not.
vision? All right,
Yes.
let me change it. Sorry about that. Normally I'm better about that.
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
In this rundown, scattered room, there are boards and computer screens, and it looks fairly torn down and misshapen. There's a lot of random shit everywhere. And immediately as you come down, you are impacted with a blunt instrument. Sorry. Does a 22 hit you?
Yes.
All right, good roll from him, I suppose. He deals 5 points of damage, and you turn around to see somebody with what appears to be electronic tattoos that has just hit you with a pipe wrench. He is not saying anything. He looks to be, like, with murderous intent trying to kill you. Is that all you have to say?
Please. Let me. We're here to bring you out here. Please stop.
Oh God.
So as you are shouting
So
and, like,
just
screaming
stayed
for
with the
help,
party.
immediately he's not saying anything else. He's going to hit you with the pipe wrench again.
Should have
This is
stayed
16
with the
hit you.
So,
fucking party.
I would have probably went to try and find the, guy tripping balls.
Yeah, that
Do
was.
I hear any of this?
Yeah,
That-
no.
That does it.
I
though.
did try to get some of the party to go get the hostage, so someone should
Yeah,
be heading there.
I was waiting for my turn to say that I wanted to
He
find him.
impacts
Fair enough.
you with the blunt end of the pipe wrench again for another 6 points of damage, and we will cut to Dog for just a second. You walk around into the second room of this facility, and you find about 30 or so feet, just bordering into the third room, there is a man that is currently, like, cradling himself on the ground and rocking back and forth. He is clad in, like, a t-shirt and ripped cargo pants that are now very much cargo shorts.
Well, sorry to do this to you. And he's gonna crack his knuckles and then try to just knock the man out.
He tries to say something about the dragons and then immediately gets knocked out.
This dragon.
And
wonder where
at
the
this point, you hear the moth being assaulted.
And I suppose
Go.
God, to be like, God damn it, and then run to wherever I hear that coming from to help.
So, you run from the second room to the third room, and from the third room to the fourth room. Basically, your path takes you north and then west, and the last entrance for you is basically southwards. As you step into the technical fifth, room that you're exploring, immediately you are shot at. There appears to be on the other side of the building a sort of simple rig where a long arm is mounted, more specifically a laser rifle that takes a snapshot after you. Would a 25 hit your EAC?
Unfortunately.
That would be plus that. 9 points of fire damage as it burns across your armor, and you are sent spiraling back into cover. It looks like there is a simple automated turret that is kind of like firing at anything that gets close right now.
Do we all hear this?
Yeah, no, immediately
So-
the rest of you.
You know
see
what?
and hear the
Hearing
rest of
that
this
there's more,
conflict.
hearing that there's more gunshots, I'm gonna have to trust that these fucking unconscious ones aren't gonna wake up and go anywhere. So,
Yeah,
I'm
because Tim
I'm,
Tom's
I'm,
gonna
I'm
immediately
gonna
start
I'm gonna
looking
I'm gonna shoulder my rifle and start heading towards the gunfire.
So,
Likewise.
Darian is probably shouting, not happy, fucking clutching his chest.
So
Is this
here-
technically combat?
Here is a question for you. Are you going to remain in cover and out of sight of this turret because you've just been shot with a laser, or do you want to, like, rush this thing?
Since I was just shot, I could probably make it to it.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
And sitting here isn't gonna fucking solve anything. So, yeah, let's go for it.
So you rush through, and as this thing has like singed your coat and your armor, what you are wearing currently, you quickly stride over to this thing, and you get a sense that this thing was set up with the intent to put it on the like allies side of the battlefield, and it was not meant to be engaged in melee combat, because as soon as you run over to it, you basically like football tackle it to the floor, and as soon as it hits it, it kind of tries to maneuver a bit, and you hear whatever is making it rotate and lock onto things starts locking and grinding up before making a squealing noise and turning off.
So
It's like when you knock a
I
fucking
will also
corn
say
ferret
this.
over.
After the second hit, I'm going to raise all four arms and say, I surrender! I surrender! Please, no more, no more.
You can give me a diplomacy check to try and calm down whoever the fuck this is, presumably your slicer. And 11, he raises up his bludgeoning weapon and tries to hit you again.
Oh boy.
He is not saying anything to you, by the way, but from what you can tell, he has a pretty short, non-spiked mohawk that's pretty even across the board that crosses his scalp, and most of his body is lined with faintly flickering, glowing tattoos. Does a 21 hit you?
Yes.
Oh,
At this
no.
point, I'm just going to start trying to dodge.
5 points of bludgeoning damage, bringing you down to 6 points of HP. And as the moth is getting the shit kicked out of him, I assume the rest of the party is trying to barge down his door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
find the door, I'm just going to try and fucking shoulder it down.
Fuck
See,
it. Tim Tom can use a shotgun to blow the fucking handle off.
See, at this point, as all of you with your combined efforts make your way over, just kind of like shooting, knocking down, trying not to kill your allies, because shooting a shotgun at a door that's trying to be ripped off is kind of a bad idea. Regardless, with your combined party might, you crash in through the door, and E is going to attempt to make a athletics check to bind you. Go ahead and make a athletics check, Moth.
Alright.
Well,
A 19. As you stroll into the room, just where the computer screens are, Slicer stands. He currently has the bludgeoning weapon in his offhand and one arm wrapped firmly around the moth, and he just says, "Not a step closer. Who the fuck are all of you?"
we were sent by cats. You're being held hostage here, no?
Jesus fucking Christ. He lets the moth go and kind of kicks him just a little bit to get him to go to the rest of these people. You scared the living daylights out of me. I thought that we were getting attacked by somebody else.
Dropping in from the
And Tom is
roof.
going to immediately
Drop.
rush
I'm
to
just going to kind of look down at your reach. Dropping down from the ceiling tiles to get to you wasn't part of the plan, but
You ever seen the movie fucking Alien? What's wrong with you people?
What?
What?
Ignore that.
Were you the one that set that fucking laser beam out there? That fucking hurt.
Well, yeah, I thought I was gonna die.
Well, regardless, as I walk through the corner, or walk through the door and go around the corner, I can see why Cat values your services so highly. This place is a bit of a bitch to get into.
Yeah, where the fuck's our ride? I want to get the hell out of here.
Outside, let's go.
Jesus.
You have 5 minutes to get your belongings, and we're done after that.
I've
Yeah.
got basic toolkits I need to get assembled, and he starts turning around and going through his shit.
so I'm gonna get on the comm unit. Wheels, we need you to pull into the garage. Things are neutralized here, and we're about to extract the hostage.
Fair enough.
As you're
I
calling
would-
this message on your comms, I'm going to walk down to the garage to make sure nobody wakes up.
As we're
Yeah.
walking out, Dog is going to stop, look at the turret, and pick it up and put it on his shoulders.
So you go ahead and put this thing, just kind of haul it out with you.
I mean, it's a perfectly good laser rifle. You just need to like tinker with it a bit.
Yeah,
So-
Slicer goes ahead and packs up his gear, and the rest of you go across into the garage. Seeing that the unconscious individuals are still on the floor next to the car where Dog tied them up at, Wheels comes in through the other side of the garage, and because this is kind of a tight space, he drives as close as he can to the other side of this car. And it looks like if nobody stops him, he is going to run over the legs of the drugged guy.
If
I
I
suppose
see
as-
this, I'll pull the drugged guy's legs away from the vehicle so he doesn't get fucking crippled forever.
Yeah, no, he pulls across to the other side of the car and stops and gets out, and he just goes, "Wow, what a fucking shit show."
Well,
So where's the guy?
Slicer's with us, right?
Yeah, no, he crosses across. He rounds the corner and enters through the doorway. Oh, fucking finally! All right, he starts packing up his shit, and the rest of you are going to do what?
So I'm
Yarich
gonna
is
look
going to
around the
take a-
party. What are we doing with the sleeping ones?
I say just leave him here. There's a guy knocked out in there. If he wakes up, well, I'm sure he can help the other ones.
So
Right.
the
Is there
one that
anything-
got the initial salvo of 447, myself, and Tim Tom shooting him, is he still alive?
Oh, that hallucinating guy?
The one that got hit by 3 attacks.
Yeah, and then stuck with a drug dart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is currently bleeding all over the place, and he looks like he is high off of his rocker.
So I'm gonna kind of.
Go up and fucking throw a med patch to Yarich. Say, here you go, and then he's gonna go up to make sure that one guy doesn't fucking die.
I'm gonna look a little skewed towards Darian. These are criminals. They might have prices on their heads.
Listen, it's a lot of work to just drag 5 people out to, especially when there's not like, I don't know. Can you like Google that or something?
Google crime records and bounties. Christ.
There might
Is
be
there
a
anything
public
else?
web
Well,
or
at the
something
very
like that.
least, we could take them back to Cat, and he might be able to dig up dirt on them, see if they're worth anything.
Is there any
You
part
really-
of this?
And if anything,
Is there-
these are a rival gang to Cat. He might appreciate the presence.
So,
You know what?
Right,
Entirely
fine.
fair.
At
So-
that point, Darian is going to go gently set the turret into the van or truck or whatever we're using.
Right.
Pat it gently on the firing part of it, and then go and pick up the guy that he knocked out earlier.
Christ. So you all gather the 3 restrained individuals and load them into the van.
Yep.
You have to put them in the center of the van next to the laser turret and kind of pull
Yarich
them
is
and lay
going
them
to
down
patch
log
himself
style.
up with the
so
stuff that-
before we leave, I'm just gonna like sweep through like the whole building, see if there's anything we missed.
So I would say that
the one on toilet.
He's dead.
he's not only dead, but the bird also looted him already, and
Yeah.
Centurion looted everybody else.
I thought he was just unconscious.
No, he's dead.
No, they snapped the rat's arm and choked
Yeah,
him out. He's dead.
Yeah, if he didn't like asphyxiate, he probably died of shock from having his arm just fucking snapped. So is there nothing else we can really like look for in this area, or?
If you wanted to, you could check out Slicer's office, but you reckon that'll take some time.
I guess just like take a quick look around, see if there's anything useful.
Sure, go right ahead.
Yarich is just going to tend to his wounds.
27.
Well, out of the random shit that you do find here, digging around through the random assorted piles of junk, you eventually find hidden underneath a random pile of books and scrap. There appears to be shiny trinkets. You find
Ooh.
what looks like a pretty nice necklace.
Ooh, nice.
I will add it to your inventory.
So
Why and how it got here is unknown to anybody but me.
Hey, Levi,
Yes.
Okay.
what check will I have to do to make sure the guy that got, the shit shot out of him and is currently tripping balls while unconscious doesn't bleed to death?
A humble medicine check. That is more than enough.
may I make a medicine check to heal myself up?
I believe a med patch should give you some minor bonus. Let me check.
Yeah, because I'm using a med patch on him.
Yeah, I need to look at technological items, med patch. I'm glad that I have to look up all this stuff. Make a medicine check with a +10 circumstance bonus, and only a +10.
So since I'm using a med patch on this guy, would that 21 be a 31?
No. I'm going to remove 8 from that since I told you just a +10 circumstance bonus. However, you do manage to restore 1 hit point to yourself. So you're up to 7 instead of 6. And that bleeding guy is no longer bleeding.
So we've got all of our prisoners loaded into the van. We've got the hostage we're rescuing loaded into the van. I'm in the van. I'm good to go. I don't know about the rest of you.
I'm in van.
Oh,
Found
wait,
this pretty.
So,
I found this pretty little necklace in the office up there.
Good for
So I'm
you.
good to go.
so for whenever one of the guys wake up, Darian is going to want to have the turret positioned and pointing right at them. And
Excellent.
he's just going to be giggling to himself as he waits for them to wake up.
Yeah, as you're halfway through the car ride, one of them starts to kind of like make his way to some semblance of consciousness, and it's that guy that just meagerly got shot with a dart and not crunched into a car or riddled with gunshots. And as he wakes up, his eyes flutter open. He immediately sees the barrel of a lethal laser weapon pointed directly at his face. It takes a few seconds for him to recognize what he's looking at, and then he jolts back and begins squirming away and goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" And he's like looking around and looking up to you, and he just goes, "You fucking bastard! If I was free, I would. I don't know what I'd do."
Oh, you get your neck broken if you tried to fight me.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys really fucked us up, didn't you? How about we just call this fair? Fair's fair. You got us. You can just let me go, and I'll never hear from you guys again.
Tom Chambers another fucking hallucinogenic dart. You know, if you want, I can make him see the dragons again.
You know, I want to hear more about the dragons.
Yeah, tell us about the dragons.
He's just going wide-eyed.
No, maybe he's not in the right state of mind for such a task. But I would like you to tell me about.
Ankos?
About?
Just nothing particular.
What? You cut out. You seriously cut out.
Oh, god fucking damn it. Give me a second. I'm gonna fucking change this again. Okay, is that better?
I don't know. Try asking your question again.
All right. When he says this, I will say, I don't know, I have a better question. What do you know about Cat?
Well, that's a pretty complicated topic. What do you want to know? And also, what the hell do I get out of him?
You're a hostage. You don't have room to negotiate what you get out of this.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm already pretty down in the dirt, so I can only go up from here.
You could be crippled.
Yeah, that's fair. You guys wouldn't cripple me, would you?
You're still
You
breathing.
could be dead.
I've already broken one arm today. I'll do it again.
Even though we
Why
didn't.
the hell would you break a guy's arm?
Even though we didn't mean to, there are
Whose arm
members
did
of
you
your
break?
members of your gang who
The
didn't make it
rat.
out in one piece.
Tim
Oh
Tom
my
looks
God,
over.
You
broke
fucking
his-
you fucking broke Kroll's arm? Jesus.
It
Well,
is-
it's fine. He doesn't mind. He's dead now. Anyways.
You killed the guy?
Anyways.
Get over
What's
it.
the relation to him?
Jesus, I guess that's the end of the fire rats.
Yeah. I'd say so.
No fucking kidding. Like, that guy was the only reason why any of us stuck around.
Was he your leader or something?
Well, what do you fucking think, smart guy?
Wow.
Hmm.
He just destroyed a gang. Just fucking.
All right, to be fair, it was
that.
basically just a group of hoodlums, you know.
This
I
wasn't
bet they
taking out
got
a,
out.
this,
got
this
there
wasn't
after
taking out a
work.
fucking gang. This was pest control.
I don't know. I find that pretty offensive. We were pretty, like, in the digs.
Well, for the record, we
Word.
didn't necessarily intend on destroying your little outfit. We just wanted to extract Slicer. You were in the way.
Well, shit, all you wanted was fucking Slicer, huh? I mean, like, I don't want to pull strings here, but, like, we didn't, like, shoot you or anything. You kind of, like, full-on murdered us.
I was told to
I
go
mean,
loud. I went loud.
Shot us if you had the chance.
No, you
I mean,
shot at us. You guys shot at us.
No, we shot at you, definitely, after you started, like, ruling my friend over there, and he kind of, like, leans his head over to the guy that is covered in patched up gunshots.
We could argue semantics all day and night, but the point is, you're just a fucking bunch of
No, the
gangers.
fact of the
And then
matter
you guys
is,
calm
basically
out.
just enslaves Splicer here. That you guys don't have room to talk.
Well, that's a rude stereotype. Like, I think that I don't appreciate that at all. I think you should rephrase your language.
Slicer
So-
wasn't free to
I
go.
didn't want to be here. He was happy to hear once that we were from Cat.
Well, sure, but like, I mean, we had shit that we had to get done, and like, you know, if we didn't have him, the gang would have fucking fell apart.
Then
So
if I
hold on,
should
hold on.
fall apart.
Back this up about 17 steps. What? How did you get to know Splicer, and what were the conditions of his employment underneath you?
I mean, 17 steps. What does that imply? Like, you want to know about my
I'm
childhood?
saying I
or-
want to go far the fuck back, and I'm tired of this current conversation. So how do you know Splicer? How did he come to work with you, and what are the conditions of his employment?
Okay, so let me think just a second. I'm still recovering from whatever the fuck that bear shot me with. Okay, so like Kroll, you know, the guy you like broke his arm. He was really fucking good with tinkering the shit, but we did not have a computers guy. That's where Slicer came in. We got him as like a temporary loan from Cat, but I mean the thing is, like, you got to spend money to make money, and we were kind of in the business of like spending money, and we didn't really have any money to spend. So, like,
So you
I
loaned
figured,
Cat, you loaned Splicer from Cat without the appropriate means to pay him off, and he didn't like that very much, did he?
yeah, no, in foresight, it was a pretty bad decision.
Well, now you're going to answer for it.
We didn't go after a bunch of hardened criminals. We went after a bunch of fucking goobers with no financial competence.
I mean, Cruel was pretty hard. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but he was a pretty like fucked up individual.
Mm.
Isn't he dead now?
I mean, you said you killed him.
I didn't.
I don't have any reason to like not believe you.
Regardless,
Well-
So is this the part where you let me go?
it's not up to us what happens to you.
No.
Quite frankly, I pity you, and I don't really have a lot of desire to hand you into Cat, but at the same time, I have no reason not to.
What if I said I had like a wife and kids? Would that make you feel better?
Do you have
I
a wife?
I
and
would
kids?
feel like you're
You
lying.
have a wife and kids?
I mean, no, but I'd say it to get off the hook.
Well, you played your hand there, so no, we're not going to let you go.
Honestly, I'd let you go based off of the honesty alone, but that's not my call.
All right, everybody raise hands if we want to hand him over to Cat.
This guy's
Raise
just like
hand.
face down on
Yeah,
the ground.
I raise a hand up at the elbow.
I don't
Does
raise
not
my
raise his
hand.
hand.
I raise a hand.
Looks like most of us want to give him to Cat.
All right,
At
looks like you're
least
not
half
going
of
free.
us.
Sorry.
Do I get a vote?
No.
Why not?
How about
Sure.
this? If I have to
Raise your
level
hand
with
if
you,
you can raise your hand if you want to be let go.
The whole reason we
and he's
even
tied up right now,
He
right?
struggles for a second. He tries to hold his hand. He goes, "Oh, I see what you did there."
Good
Listen,
man. He's gonna
if
pat
I'm-
him on the shoulder.
if I'm gonna level with you, I don't think you have a lot of value to Cat. Your entire operation just kind of got shunted pretty hard.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, we were in the business of fixing up the fucking vehicles for the other gangs. And we were just getting started. I think Kroll was talking about getting some fuel depot shipments in. We were gonna like hook up some makeshift flamethrowers. It was gonna be great. But
Well,
so much for that now.
people like Cat don't get where they are without being fairly pragmatic. Just to be useful to, and I'm sure you'll end up working for him instead.
Honestly,
know,
you
I-
might have moved up in the world if that happens.
I figure if Kroll's dead, I figure Cat's probably gonna kill me too. So I'm just kind of like worming my way out of this.
I'll try to put in a good word for you. I'll emphasize that maybe you can be more useful dead than alive.
Yeah, the rest of these
Alive and
guys,
dead?
the rest of these guys, I don't give a shit about. Like, I barely know them.
At the end of the day, you weren't the one calling the shots or making decisions. You have that going for you.
I'm sorry, who the fuck are you?
Go fuck yourself.
447.
By the way, mister, I do apologize for shooting you with that dart there. It's a new recipe I've been tinkering with. I didn't expect it to have such volatile results.
What was in that?
I'm not at legal liberty to say.
Are you like a chemist?
Kinda, sorta.
So hold on. Like, you're not at liberty to say, but at the same time, doctor-patient confidentiality exists, right? You
Yeah,
put
you
the
can't
drugs
say it
in
with
him,
all
he's
of us
kind of
here.
your patient. Maybe you have a sort of weird obligation to actually say something about it.
Well, that means he
Unfortunately, as
can't
a
say anything with all of us here, because like if
No.
he's the
Correct.
patient,
Oh,
we're
goddamn,
not. Like,
I wanted to find out. Fuck.
Tim Tom looks at you. Tim Tom like just sits there and like scribbles something, hands it to you.
To me?
Yeah.
Do I? I'm gonna look at this paper. Can I fucking decipher it at all?
It says, "Trust me, you don't want to know."
Oh, I thought you were gonna give me a fucking long list of bullshit chemicals that have to roll a fucking medicine check to even understand what any of them are.
You know what? Fuck it. That sounds more funnier. It's just a long list of chemicals.
This guy is just kind of like lying like a sardine in a tin, watching the rest of you fuck around while presumably he is about to be traded to a crime boss.
So, we have what, 2 others with us?
The 2 others are completely unconscious, and this guy is only awake because he hasn't had his face smashed in or been riddled with gunshots.
Fair enough.
So, about an hour and 10 minutes pass until you make it back to the supernova. And at this point, the individual who is, for the most part, passive starts fighting, but you manage to quickly restrain him, being that he is already restrained. You bring him...
One of them on one of the unconscious guys on his shoulders.
Yeah, you bring him through the front gates. Immediately, there are individuals present that will take these people like off of your hands and put them aside just for now, because there's no point in carrying around these guys.
Yeah.
As they are set aside for the moment, you enter the lounge, and it's not long before you are ushered back to Kat's office. Now, as opposed to whenever he was at his desk previously, right now he has rolled back his chair all the way away from the desk and is currently in the corner of the room. It is leaned back, and it looks like he is underneath one of the vents and is kind of chilling out with the cool air. And it looks like he is partaking in some kind of smoking drug, similar to the one that the drow and Vaku would have seen whenever you first saw him. So as you stroll in through the door, he takes a deep inhale and blows out a steam of rather cloudy air. He acknowledges all of your existences, and the telepathic rain drops on all of you. Well, I assume it went well.
Well, we have your man, and we have a few of the fire rats even that apprehended him. So I
You
assume
brought individuals to have a conversation with.
Figured
We
you might
didn't kill-
figured you might appreciate the gesture. They might have some information you're interested in, or
I
maybe
do appreciate the means of assistance. It was not asked of you, but you went out of your way to accrue them. I will keep note of that in our future dealings. I must say, you conducted your matters in a quick and, from as far as I know, efficient manner.
Was only one issue.
What was the issue?
We entered through the roof and we climbed down the ladder. The ladder was too rusted and it fell over.
well,
What the fuck does that do with anything?
your reach, we got the job done. There might have been a hiccup, but we all came back alive and Slicer's not hurt.
Yeah, the slug's current 2 eyes blink for a second as he registers what you told him, and as the rest of the party starts scolding the moth, he takes another drag on whatever hookah equivalent he is using. So, I assume you are here for your reward then?
Yes.
The
Tim
agreed
Tom's
upon
hiding behind
amount.
447.
Huh?
Tim Tom's hiding behind 447.
Alright.
Now, I am sorry, but seeing as how I am currently preoccupied, I have misplaced the amount that I was supposed to have given you. Could you remind me as to the amount that I owe for your rendered services?
You paid us 150 in advance and you're going to pay us 150 now.
Ah, there it is. The reward of the evening. He makes a simple, exclusive gesture, and you get a sense that you are currently bothering Cat, like, on his after hours. Like, this man isn't just a crime boss. He enjoys a lot of different things, and this is kind of maybe not interrupting that, but this is on the latter half of his evening. It is late at night, rather.
So, as the rest of the party discusses their terms and conditions and gets their credits, I'm going to just simply walk to the other side of the room and lean against the wall as I wait until everyone else is done.
As we're
and
getting
so I can get
paid,
my payment back.
as we're getting paid, I'm just going to bring up the matter to Cat. Is there a chance of any bonus for bringing those fire rats in?
Well, I am sorry to say that it was not a disclosed part of our agreement. I had no intention of raking in prisoners, and I do not feel the need to compensate you for the matter. However, in future offerings, I may be a bit more fair.
Figured I'd at least try.
I understand that you went above and beyond your current performance, but in a deal, a professional business, one must be strict with their agreements. Perhaps in the future, we can think about such things before engaging in our profession.
Any chance law enforcement might want them?
Now that you mention it, it is entirely possible that each of them hosts some low-tier bounty.
Think you could look into that for us?
I suppose. So, your disclosed upon amount of 150 credits each. Congratulations. I may be in contact soon. So each of you go ahead and add 150 credits to your inventories.
Yo.
So it's at that point I'm gonna hold on, I made a mistake here. I guess I'm just going to give Cat a nod, and I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party.
He gives you kind of like a curt head nod.
We will all convene at a table here in the Supernova and figure out what we're doing next. And
if you are interested in taking some time to actually relax, the Supernova's seating is not as fitting for people of your status. Why not use the back rooms? They have nice cushioned seats and are meant for entourages such as yourselves.
We're going to need a place.
It's a private area.
We're going to need a place to meet up and discuss our next business anyway, so if you're providing that, that will suffice.
Sure. Are there any necessities you would like me to bring to your room?
Just a seat.
I'll be right back.
There's fair.
Is there drink gonna be drink there?
I can have drinks delivered if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Is there something wrong?
No. Fine.
He was just a little skittish about his first job.
I think it's more than a job. You don't have anything against the Shylay, do you?
I don't know who the Shylay are.
It is his race.
No, not at all.
Lug.
He kind of gives a meager shrug. Alcohol it is, then.
Thank you.
So
Tim Tom immediately makes his way to the door.
Cat pointed us in the direction of these back rooms, right?
Yeah, he kind of made like a sweeping motion.
I'm gonna kind of tilt my head towards Tim Tom and kind of follow me motion, and we're gonna go find our seats.
Darian is going to follow, and the moment that they're, I guess, in a private room, he's going to start searching for anything that could be used to listen in on them.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Why am I doing the typing it in manually? There's a button for this. Damn.
So you take a brief sweep around, you look underneath the seats, you look up in the corners of the room, and eventually you sit down and breathe out a sigh of relief. And the thing that does catch your attention, the way that these rooms are built, they're almost like circular pods within the presumably armored confines of this small facility. They are very nice, small, rounded seats that kind of envelop the room. They allow for like group discussion in a very comfortable environment. But the big thing that catches your attention is the round AC unit that protrudes from the ceiling that blows nice and cold air on all of your faces. And after all of that exertion, this is a pretty nice experience. You just start to melt back in this wonderful lounge.
Mind you, I
I'm
stayed
not gonna
back.
lie, this
Yeah.
was fucking terrifying.
Tim,
Forgive my language, I just used a swear word.
it's fine, Tim Tom. We're all adults here.
I
Well,
know, but I don't like making curses.
what's going on with you, Tim Tom?
This situation just makes me very nervous.
How so?
Oh, you know, just I don't exactly feel comfortable working with criminal underlords.
I nod my head at you. I don't like it either, but at this stage we're not seeing many other options. And that work
Look,
we did, we took out a gang of criminals. It wasn't anything to be losing sleep over.
Look, and I understand that, and don't get me wrong. You guys need me, and where you need me, I'm gonna, go. But just so you know, I'm not exactly very comfortable with this situation.
You know,
Yari just going to speak up.
we could have a
Also,
change of
think of it
profession.
This way. There's also the fact that we were able to take most of them down without having to kill them.
You killed a guy back there.
Yes, we did. There were casualties. It happens.
I understand that, but like the rest of it went really well. What did he do to you? Did he you just said you broke his arm and strangled him to death?
There.
What kind of people
there.
are you? Just a bunch of freaking
You're just about
psychopaths?
to light us up on fire.
Doctor, calm down. All right. No one here is a psychopath. All right.
Try to be quiet.
If you guys would be interested, there is something else we can do.
What's that?
What might that be?
And Darian is going to, I guess, pull out whatever he was given for his bounty target.
So, specifically what you have for his bounty target, you go ahead and pass out your personal comm unit and make sure that it has its holographic screen projection active. You slide it across this center round table because you know what these lounges are used for, right?
Shady shit.
It's literally for shady shit, for all of the means of dark life. So a small secluded lounge, a little small circular table. You slide out this comm unit, and flashing to life is the disgusting slug once again in holographic form and a displayed bounty of 1,000 credits.
Oh.
Tim Tom, before anyone says anything, raises his hand.
You can just speak. You understand that, right, Doctor?
I apologize.
I checked the room. So,
Are you?
Right now might be the best time. He's going to take it back and take his comm unit, put it back.
I'm not opposed. I don't have any great love for the man, but we have to ask ourselves about sustainability.
Yeah.
What's 1,000 credits split between the 8 of us if this man can offer us a steady stream of work?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a steady stream of work, and as long as there's 2 people, someone's gonna want somebody else have the hell beat out of them and dragged back.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I didn't want to make that. I wanted to reference it, not fucking say it, all right?
Good quote, kind of ruined.
Oh, listen here. I don't want to just be a bunch of quotes and cliches. Come on now.
That's the fun part about space operas.
All right, but now's the time. It's a good business.
And then how do you reckon we get our way out?
So when we entered in, were all the mercenaries still there?
No, they were gone for the night. It's late into the evening and most of them left. The only people here are the ones that work directly for Cat.
Well, the hard asses are gone, And I guess all the rest of the people here are just chumps, so
Let's
I think
wait.
we got it.
Let's wait until we have everyone here before we make a determination on that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not.
I'm sure Ankos would be very mad if we kicked down the door in the middle when he was talking with him.
The idea doesn't rub me the wrong way, and I understand why the doctor's so apprehensive about this. Working for criminal elements isn't exactly my forte. It's not something that makes me comfortable. Working for money in general doesn't. Not what I was made to do.
I'm just gonna say, the next time I see him, I'm making my move.
But all things said, I find now that I have no choice other than to try to find the best deal I can.
Yeah.
The fact of the
Who
matter
says
is,
they're gonna be bound to cat?
the fact of the matter is, I'm cut off and alone. I need to be able to survive, and that means, in this society, credits. So,
Well,
I have to ask myself what's the best for my continued survival rather than what's right. And dog, sorry, yeah, I guess I used your fucking code name that was given to you by Wheels by accident. I'm sorry, Darian. The fact of the matter is, I think taking him down would be what's right, but is it what's the best for our situation?
Well, let's put it this way: if you help me with this, you don't have to be alone anymore. And Dog is gonna, put his hand across the table to shake.
I'll shake your hand, but that doesn't mean I'm agreeing to doing this. I appreciate the sentiment, but we are all in this together through aspect. That's not in question. What I mean is, I don't have a support network anymore. I don't have an AI I can call upon for tactical advice. I don't have an advanced set of armor. I don't have access to any hardware I could desire out on the field.
Upon hearing the AI and tactical advice, you start hearing a, kind of annoyed buzzing in your ear, because you can definitely tell that you've pissed off Aspect.
You're not an AI. At least we don't think you are.
Grumble, grumble.
Regardless,
Static.
Look at me. I'm using a hunting rifle.
I'm punching
Things are
people
different.
to death with my bare hands. You haven't noticed,
Speaking of which, I've never seen someone that strong before.
We're not in good straits. None of us are.
Yeah, I need to get off planet to Calestium to find my mentor.
One thing at a time. We still have business here.
Yes.
And as much as you might want to run off and go to Castellum, we've learned very recently that splitting up is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of your business, it's about now that you kind of think for a moment your goals of getting a vehicle and giving it to the town of Kiliad as a recompense for your previous actions. And you remember that there was an abandoned car in that garage that you all just left behind.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Ah.
I mean, we can just go back.
We know where it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the guys had keys.
And not only that, if it's, I could probably repair it with the parts that's there.
Who says it needs to be repaired? It just looked like a car.
You know what's funny? I think a piece of real estate just opened up as well.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Let's wait for Ankos to get back and we'll talk about our next course of action.
Speaking of Ankos, as you hang around and kind of stand and lean up against the wall, the slug takes another draw of whatever drug he is using. And then he offers it to you once more. You didn't take my last offer, but I figure twice is fair. It's nothing serious, just a relaxant and trying to settle down for the night.
I eyeball his offering for just a few seconds, and then I shrug my shoulders and go, why the hell not? And then I take a drag out of whatever the hell it is he's smoking.
So you go ahead and take another one of these little dials from its holster and take a drag. And compared to your smoking habit, you smoke, don't you?
Every once in a while. I've
It-
made it established that my character drinks during good times and smokes during bad ones.
This is essentially like inhaling straight menthol, and it's not very appetizing. But once you have breathed out this thick cloud of like puffy white air, you feel most of your worries begin to slip away. You wanted information over that CEO, correct? Ow.
You'd be correct. Stursk, what do you have on him?
Well, I wasn't able to find much on the person, but if I do find anything on Stursk himself, you will be the first person to know. What I did find out is some strange information about the gala.
All right, I'm listening.
So he kind of puts one arm on the chair and leans forward, and that third eye opens again. You get a sense that he's just doing that for dramatic effect to make himself look cool. His psychic intensity kind of begins to radiate. Rumor has it that comms have been going crazy recently. Unexpected visitors of high class. Someone, an unexpected guest, is attending the party. I'm not sure who yet, but it doesn't make sense the amount of panic and excitement. It must be someone important.
Only two things. For them to increase security like this, I must want to say it's a high-ranking member of the Imperium, possibly. Or the Syndicate, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you had me confused for a second there.
Well, if nothing else, knowing that security is going to be on a unprecedented level is valuable information. But I am disappointed that I don't know more about Mr. Stursk himself.
I apologize. Give me perhaps today and the better part of tomorrow, and I might have better, noteworthy things to share with you. Keep in mind, it just has been afternoon.
Yes, we did this job very quickly. I'll pass you my information. Contact me whenever you find more dirt, please.
Just curious. I know that you work for the Institute of Investigation. I know that that company has close ties to the Syndicate's Department of Federal Security, but I am interested to know just how attached you are to your job.
Well, Kat, we've had good dealings, but I know a lot of the things you do are things I would not myself agree with on moral grounds. The IA has a lot of fucking problems, but they align with me in a way that I don't think you could. I'm not a killer, I'm not a thief, I'm not a spook. If you're trying to hire me, I just quite frankly don't think that we see eye to eye on too many pertinent issues.
He kind of lets out a sigh. His eyes kind of begin to rest in this almost lazy fashion, and you can tell that he's probably ready for some kind of nap or bed rest. That is a shame. Every member of your group has a very unique personality and talents. It's so hard to find good employers nowadays.
In a different life,
employees. My apologies.
in a different life, under different circumstances, I think you could use my skills and techniques in a way that would be very beneficial. This isn't that life, though.
Well, then, in the meantime, he kind of stops in the middle of his sentence, and his eyes flicker for a moment as he stares off into space, kind of tilting his head and looking into a different direction. If You will excuse me. He gets up from his chair and leaves.
All right. I will also leave with the small bit of information that I have and head back to the party.
You enter the small concealed chamber. Inside are a round table of your friends and allies, as well as a nice chilling air that more than makes up for the somewhat moderate temperatures and physical exertion that you've been suffering throughout the day. And these seats are almost comfortable enough that you might just straight up pass out in one.
Is there a drink cabinet in here?
Alcohol was promised, so not very long after, that same bartender that attends the Supernova kind of walks out and, all right, this is my last fucking thing for tonight, so I don't know what the hell you guys wanted, so I just brought an assortment. He sets it down on the table and makes his way out. You all have a good night.
With the assortment of shit on this table, I just make myself an old-fashioned and sit back in my chair. I guess awaiting whatever inquiries the party may have or whatever they've been discussing.
Tim Tom just pours him a straight glass of something strong.
You just pour straight up fucking liquor, presumably anything that's high grade. I'm not gonna say that they're giving you straight up absinthe, because, you know, gross, but...
We need to talk about Cat.
Onkos, you know why I'm here.
I know.
Now's the best time. The mercenaries are gone.
He says this, and I pick up my glass that I've just made myself, and I swirl it around the ice cubes inside of it, before eventually saying, I won't get in your way. He has been useful to me, but quite frankly, he still has information he's holding for me. But I feel that the information I could get from him is not commensurate to what you're gonna get from killing him. So
No, I'm not gonna kill him. You know, take him in. I'm not a fucking murderer. What the hell are you talking about?
No, you're a bounty hunter. The line gets blurred sometimes, depending on what part of the space you're in.
So let's say we do this. How are we getting him back?
Right. I feel that we have a good window, but we don't have a lot of the infrastructure in place for making this happen. So,
It's never been a problem before. Not for me, anyway.
Going to want some kind of vehicle to bring him around to the station, or wherever it is you're turning him in.
I know right now is an opportune time, but do you think this is really the best time? We kind of just walked in here. No preparation, no anticipation beyond what we were actually going to do.
Is there really any better time that you think we'll get?
Well, I don't mean to sound callous, but that's not my problem.
Listen, sometimes you gotta fly by the seat of your pants. You can't just sit around pushing pencils on paper all day, drawing maps.
I'd like to remind everyone that we're stuck together. In a way, each of our problems have become each other's problems.
Here's my question, Bounty Hunter. Do you have maybe aspirations of doing something different than what you're doing right now?
This is another conversation that's been coming for a long time. We all have very different lines of work, and they conflict with one another. We can't all go with Ankos on every investigation he goes on, and we can't all go with Darian on every hunt he goes on. This is something we're going to have have a discussion about.
I have bigger plans than just, beating people up for money.
But there is...
And I'm going to say, while I can, that I have a feeling this is always something I've done, and that the people I want to find again, if I make a big enough name for myself, well, they'll find me.
Yarge tilts his head. Who are you looking for, then?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I've already told our soldier friend here, but I just woke up in a field one day. I remember that there was people that cared about me, and I cared about them, but
Well,
I remember I punched people a lot, and I remember doing exactly what I want to do now.
And making a name for yourself is the best way to hopefully get their attention.
There was one other thing that you do recall. It was in the midst of the swirling, terrible, chaotic maelstrom that you found yourself in, with no real context or information as to how you got there or what had occurred to lead to that point. You remember terrible, gleaming white fangs and red scales.
And I mean, there's one other thing, but I don't think it means anything. But,
well, I must say that if we truly must be tied to the hip for the rest of our lives, we are a very different group of people with very different common interests and abilities, but that is in itself kind of a blessing.
I'm not
The
seeing
combined, our combined knowledge, our strengths, and our weaknesses complement each other very well. If we ever had to strike it alone, together, I'm not sure what we would do, what our common combining influence would be, but I think we would do very well at it. I really have no desire to abandon my life, and maybe that's part of the problem, but I see a great deal of promise amongst us. And while we may have our disagreements, our differences, I don't hate any of you.
You know, Inkos, I don't envy you. I didn't get a choice when I had to leave everything behind. You might have to consciously choose to let it go, and that can't be easy.
I thought I knew my entire life what I wanted and what I was. I hate that it's being taken away from me potentially.
Would you rather be dead?
God, no.
Then I say count your blessings.
Well, to be fair, though, I mean, Enko's there. He did flatline a few times when you guys got brought into my clinic.
That's the point. The choice that's being offered is we take a radically different course in our lives, or Aspect did nothing and we all perished in that crash. I'd rather take the second. Sorry, I misspoke. I'd rather take a different life.
Well, how about this? I have an idea, a proposition then. We all have to let go of ourselves. We have to accept that we have been given a new hand, and we have to play that hand to the best of our abilities. But at the same time, all of us have current duties and responsibilities we have to fulfill. Darian has to fill his contract. I have to fill my mission. You need to find your home. I'm sure the rest of us still have their own meanings and bearings in life.
Detective, my home is gone. All I want is my armor back.
Well, there you go. I assumed you at least wanted to see Concordia.
I don't know what good that'll do. And if I decide I want to do that, then there'll be time for that later. It's not like what's left of it is going anywhere.
I won't talk you into deciding your own destiny, but if your armor is truly your greatest piece of import, if you help me with my business then I will help you with yours. We have founded our relationship and trust off of debt, off of a common understanding that if somebody repays one kindness to us, we must repay it back.
That armor was a part of me. It was a second skin.
I'm not going to be so...
Might have forgotten what my own face looks like.
I'm not so callous as to compare my coat to your prized suit of armor, but I understand.
I know.
In some small capacity.
When you lost your coat, I know that was something that was important to you as someone who served a greater cause. I wasn't going to belittle that. Might not be the same as having it lost, assumedly forever, to some tech conglomerate who's studying it like it's a science project, but it's something that still meant something to you. It represented your allegiance and accomplishments.
Well,
you understand.
I do, and I suppose that one way we must look at this is that we all live on borrowed time. We are an existence outside of ourselves.
And
And the
that's
most we can do is to live for each other.
And that's another thing. I talked about this with everyone else, but I'm not someone who fights for money. I once had a cause, a purpose. I fought for people, not profit. But now I
Well,
feel like we're being thrust into a position where we have no choice but to choose profit. Because if we don't, we're not going to survive.
well, we are starting from nothing right now. And when you have nothing, you must be willing to do anything,
And all this
including
said,
working for people like Cat.
if I had to choose between Darian and Cat, I'd choose Darian in a heartbeat. So
Oh, absolutely.
if he's going after Cat, then I'm going to have to follow along.
I still want my information, don't get me wrong, but
says I agree with 47.
I've never had it.
don't get me wrong, I would still like to have my information, but I'm no slouch.
And as much as I'm not a big fan of this underworld work, I would still like a constant stream of resources that I can use. And getting rid of Cat would put a damper in that. But as I said, I'm not going to lose any sleep if he gets taken in and served justice.
Yeah.
There's always work hunting. I'm telling you that.
If there's always work,
You
then
know,
we can pass
Dorian,
this one
I
job
reckon
off,
you'd know
huh?
better than anyone.
I mean, I could get by doing bounty hunter work.
Quite frankly, the hunt, chasing down targets, I feel like that's something that could utilize all of our skills in a fairly significant degree.
And I bet, Dorian, you take in a lot of scumbags, too.
I won't be lie. Sometimes it's fun just punching people who deserve it.
But that's what's important. They deserve it.
Oh, it's like you're straight out of a fucking reality TV show, and I love it.
So we doing this thing with Cat?
That's Darian's call.
Right here, right now.
You're committed, aren't you?
If anyone, I'm
Certainly.
going to speak up slightly, but not enough to alarm anyone who might be around that's not us. If anyone has any objections now, speak up or hold your peace.
I just
At this
I'm
point, I
just
down the
glad that
last.
drow guy is gone. He'd
No.
be up and fit right now.
At this point, I stand up, pull the fucking lapels back of my coat, and make sure my weapon is accessible. I will stand by you.
I'll
Tim
stand by
Tom,
you as well. I trust
you-
you more than I trust Cat, but I also
Tim Tom reloads his needle pistol and chambers it.
I mean, it's only fair that a dog would go after a cat anyway. Man, I was brilliant getting that code name anyway.
My
He's
God.
going to stand up and be like,
We've got your back.
this is
Alright,
going to be
Yari
fun.
just going to begin hacking up into the local system to
So you walk over to the nearby temperature control system and you start hacking into it. Give me a computer's check.
I wasn't going for the temperature control. I was
You
pulling out
will,
my
Hey, I mean, smart devices are connected to everything.
if you want to check the wireless network, give me a computer's check.
yes.
Can Tim Tom aid him in a computer's check?
Sure.
Cool. Because Tim Tom actually has a pretty high computer's check.
Anyone can help me.
I can provide assistance, being that I am also proficient in the same skill. When I get to my fucking character sheet.
Nice.
So on the wireless network, you have access to temperature control, the lights, some of the doors, though not a lot of them, especially not the important ones. And I don't know, maybe the music system.
Shall we play some epic music for this? Or shall
Do
we?
you really want to tip them off?
Fair enough.
Maybe
You know
we could control the lights. What lights do you have control
what?
over?
Let's just follow my lead, guys. I know how to do this. And he's going to get up and start walking out.
Darian's professional. Let's go.
Tim Tom follows Darian.
I
So,
follow.
I'm going to find, I guess, somebody that either go to the office that the slug was at before, not knowing that he's gone, And is there a disgusting slime trail that's recent leaving?
So yeah, you guys head into Ket's office, and the man in question is standing behind his desk, currently holding a glass of some kind.
So
Is there anybody
I'm
else in here?
Currently, right now, it is completely empty,
Ah, okay.
aside from him, who was just kind of currently swirling around something inside of the glass. And
Are there any
because you can actually tell that he knows that you're present simply because like he kind of perks up whenever you enter the room.
Hey, I got a bit of a thing I forgot to ask you to do earlier. Darian's gonna start walking around, attempt to go over the table. Not go over the table, but go around the table.
So you go ahead and hear from no particular source sound emanating from seemingly the room itself, Cat's voice. And just what might that be?
He's going to walk over, put his hand on his shoulder, cock the gun that's on his wrist, and say, "Can you put your hands behind your fucking back?"
Holy shit!
As you go and put a hand on his shoulder, it fizzles through him.
Uh-oh.
And there is a bit of static before Cat's form just dissolves completely.
Oh.
I really did look forward to working with all of you. And you hear as both of the doors lock.
Garich is going to go back into his system and see if he can activate the doors.
And as you start tampering into the computer network, you see lights that were previously hidden in this particular office block turn on and begin to flicker and rotate a sharp, violent red. And you start hearing of hidden vents in the upper corners of the room beginning to emit a gas.
Oh no.
Tim Tom's gonna run up to the first door, pull out a shotgun, and he's going to shoot the fucking hinges off the door.
So these auto doors that are very much made of steel, you go ahead and you said that you were hitting it with your shotgun?
No, I'm fucking blasting the fucking hinges off.
They are
like
sliding
stuff.
doors.
They are
They're
not
sliding
hinges.
doors.
They are sliding auto doors. And you go ahead and you shoot the door. Go ahead and give me a damage roll.
Yeah, hang on just a quick sec.
After this is done, I would like to
hold on.
roll an engineering check to try and
while this is happening, I'd like to contact
malfunction the drawers.
So, real quick, we'll go with Timothy's results. So
Is 1d4 right for the shotgun?
Yeah, 1d4 is right for the scattergun. It hits a cone of enemies. So you go ahead and shoot, and scattergun pellets playing into the door, denting a lot of metal and creating a very tiny hole where one of them passed through. However, it's not nearly enough to even weaken its structural integrity. Dog, what were you trying to do?
Hold on, isn't there windows here?
This is inside of like a underground bar, for lack of a better word.
All right, then I guess the next thing would be, could I try and, because, it's a part of my obsolescence thing, right?
Yes.
I want to try and use engineering to, I guess, find a point in the door to start breaking it better.
Alrighty. So, go ahead and give me an engineering check.
Yarich will also try to break down the door.
Let me quickly ask, are you going for the door behind Cat's desk, or the door, like, that you entered from?
I didn't know there was a door behind Cat's desk.
Yeah, I shut the door behind Cat's desk.
Fair enough. Which one are you doing?
What's the difference between the two?
One you did not enter through.
Well, I suppose going out the way we came is probably much better, although I think probably that other door is a panic room.
If we're going to go after Cat, then I mean...
We're going into the panic room, I guess.
Panic room. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to disable the door by taking out bolts or breaking the close mechanism.
Have you tried, like, remotely hacking it open?
I can try that. Do I
So,
need
Darian, well, we will conclude Darian's result real quick. You look at this door, and as the gas begins pouring in and starting to obscure your vision, you look for any weak point in this structure and kind of find that if this is a sliding door, then it will likely be weakest at like the central midpoint, or else it would be weakened at the hinges because you might break the railings. So you want to start pummeling away and hitting these.
Yep, putting everything I have into it.
So slam after slam after slam, fist meets metal and begins denting it in and slowly and surely breaking it.
Whoa.
As that happens, go ahead and everybody give me a fortitude save.
Here we fucking go. Oh, hey.
So, as all of you start just trying to make your way and trying to figure out a way to get out of this chamber, most of you start feeling dizzy and unconcentrated, like something is not right. You feel nauseous, like your whole worlds are spinning. The only person who is unaffected is obviously the Centurion, who has a much sturdier physiology than the rest of you.
Yari figures that there should be some sort of way to vacuum out this system once everything's done. So he tries to hack into that.
Alrighty, you go ahead and what do you want to try and access? There are door panels. There appears to be a computer at a Cat's desk. What do you want to try?
Computer at Cat's desk. I'm going to see if I can access.
Alrighty, go ahead and give me a computers check. This will be very high because Cat has a pretty nice computer.
Come on, Lord.
Oh,
A 19. You start guessing at what potentially might be the technical password that he would use for this. As you go through the sequence and attempt to figure out what this might possibly be, you try a few passwords, and the screen goes red, and it says basically like user timeout. Try again in 10 minutes.
well then I...
Way too long.
So let me ask then, you said fucking dog was actually breaking the door? Like he got through it?
You do see that dog, who is now starting to waver and kind of like starting to kilter over, trying to catch his balance, and maybe you're even on the verge of vomiting. You are slamming this door and denting its frame, basically almost like making it into a C shape. And you're going to continue on that path like that's your salvation.
Can I at least like assist?
I got no other plan.
Is there any way I can assist? Like maybe do an engineering.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Could I assist? Could I assist Darius with Darian? Whatever the name is.
Certainly. I would
I was going to try to make an engineering check to see if I could like
help
him.
He did just get tools.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an engineering check. Dog, I would like you to make a strength check, and I assume the Centurion is moving into assist.
You know what? Seeing that Darian is getting like objectively tangible results, I'm going to brace my shoulder, and I'm just going to say to Darian, "One side, I'm coming."
And since I have resolve, I get to add my expertise die to the roll as well, right?
Should be.
Have money saved in the bank.
Okay, so as you both slam against the door and Vaku starts kind of like fidgeting with the panels and trying to get this thing maybe to slip off of its rails, you hear something like creak and forcefully open, and there is now a crack in the door, like it is maybe halfway to just being shoved off of its frame. And as this is happening, I'd like everybody to make a secondary fortitude
Question.
save.
Do you think if there's another crack in that door that...
I pass out.
If there's another crack in that door, do you think gas might be seeping out through it?
From the way that it looks currently right now, like this gas is filling this room, and kind of even if there is a hole, if you pressed your face to it, you might still be breathing in whatever this is. That being said,
I mean, my main question was that like an escape route for the gas to start maybe filtering out at least a little bit?
You have a feeling that there's more than enough gas to fill this room.
Well, in that case, I'll give you my next... I was just curious about that. I'll give you my next fortitude save.
So, as all of us are like slamming and pounding against the door and trying to get it open with their engineering tools, Vaku, you're kind of like cutting through this fogginess in your mind and still continuing to try and hang on. Yarich, while you were at the computer, you feel this dizzying wave pass over you, and you just simply drift to a comfortable sleep. Timothy Thomas, who is presumably in the corner of the room after using the scattergun and cradling this like very nice martini, just passes out.
Pretty
Darian,
much. Tim more or less
I-
panicking.
Do we
each
get to do another check?
individual. Well, you haven't attempted to help out here
Oh.
in any way. So
Enko
Yeah,
said he
go.
wanted to try to contact Aspect, and that never got followed up on.
Oh yeah, I did.
So let's go with that, but I want to go ahead and describe what happens to the individuals first.
Yeah.
You go ahead and continue. And at this point, you can feel this darkness creeping into your vision, and with each thundering pulse, it robs you of more and more of your strength, until eventually the bounty hunter strikes the door one last time, and he falls to one knee, and then just kind of like slumps over and hits the floor on his side. At this point, it is the Centurion, Vaku, and the detective. So, detective, as you go ahead and try to make contact with Aspect, there's just kind of like this almost panicked chittering, and then eventually it resolves into a voice that's just kind of like, what do I do? What do I do?
Get into the system. Open this door. Find us a way out of here. Stop the gas or open the exit.
It's just kind of like, you can tell that whatever inner personality is maintaining this, it is on the verge of panic. It's just kind of like breaking in. You see the black gaseous mist form into Aspect for a split second, who bounces around on one foot and says, I don't know what I can do.
Well, I have a question. This is kind of a dumb question. It's labeled as a hard suit, my armor.
I will say that per the homebrew rules of this setting, unless you are wielding or wearing a EVA suit, which is designed to go over armor, it is not space worthy or vacuum proof.
Damn.
You can get suits specially made for that, though.
That's something in the future I definitely want to do.
Abso-fucking-lutely. So, detective, I would like you to make a fortitude save.
Look, is we still in fish for?
And at this point, the detective slumps over and falls to the ground. The only people left are Vaku and the Centurion.
All right.
What are you guys doing?
I have an idea. So you said that this door is basically, unless I'm mishearing you, about halfway open.
It is like crunched open into a C shape, and it looks like there is gas pouring out of each entrance or each exit hole.
Is there any visible gap in the middle? But like, say, between the railing and the door, or between the door jamb and the door? Like, what are...
There is definitely a space. Are you trying to get your hands in between them and start
No.
pulling it open?
I'm gonna get my hammer out, and I'm gonna wedge it in there, and I'm gonna use it for leverage and just try to fucking rip the thing through.
And I guess I can
I'm gonna use the hammer for leverage to force the door the rest of the way across the rail.
So you're attempting to use it kind of like a crowbar, and you're trying to
Yes.
push it and wedge the door off of its thing.
Yes.
As you are doing so, I'm going to mute Matt real quick because I assume that's where the noise is coming from. As you are doing so, and as you are wedging it, you feel this wreath, this familiar voice of Aspect. I don't know what to do.
Just stay calm.
I think I know what to do.
Whatever you're gonna do, do it.
I need you to let me in.
Go for it.
At this point, as you shove this hammer inside, go ahead and take away a point of resolve for me.
I will do that.
As you begin to leverage this, there is this kind of pulse. And for a second, you disappear from this scene. And instead, You awaken inside of a transportation dropship.
Whoa.
Just kind of from this moment of sleep, you jostle awake as one of your comrades slaps you on the sides of the helmet and goes, "Hey, look, he's finally awake. You
Do I-
ready, tough guy?"
Do I recognize this man?
Yeah, you look up to see the shock trooper, 762.
Oh,
He is one of your squad mates.
do I remember anything from the events of the campaign? Like, do I remember our party? Do I remember
Yeah, I mean,
the
this
wreck
is
and
this is
everything?
this is kind of confusing for you. Like you're not sure you should be here.
And this is 067?
Yes.
067?
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I think I am.
You look around and you see the rest of your squad mates, which begin kind of like chirping in, like he really was out. And you hear something in the cockpits screaming. You hear alarms blaring. And you remember this memory. We cut a few minutes later.
And this is the heavy weapons guy, right? 067?
Yeah, this is the shock trooper. This is
Okay.
essentially the guy that focuses on close quarters combat.
I'm taking notes. I want to know my squad. I wrote that down.
Yeah, you remember a couple of minutes later, you recall this memory. This dropship was shot out of the air during its transportation to this hostile planet, fighting the Hallowed Court. And in the midst of this fiery wreck, as the rest of your squad mates begin to pull each other together, you remember the dropship doors being completely sealed. And with the sheer panic of your team on the line and your responsibilities, you remember taking a hold of each side of the bay doors and beginning to pry them apart with your bare hands, a force incapable of a sheer man. These hydraulically powered armor plates, these synthetic muscles, and your own steroid and enhancement boosted physique, jostling and ripping open these sheer steel plates. And you feel the black fog rolling in as fiction comes in line with reality, and you are tearing apart the slug's door, shearing it off of its own hinges. You look at your armor, and there is something dark and unspecified about it, almost wreathed in a coating of aspects nanites. And with one final growl of like primal strength, you force the hammer in all the way, and the rails slip, and this thing falls out of its frame and hits the floor. And as quickly as you felt that strength be granted to you, you feel it slip away. And you turn around to see Vaku, who was fucking with this. What are you doing? This dude just tore through a steel plate of a door with sheer primal strength.
Are you okay?
I got the job done. Let's go.
Fuck, yeah. Yeah, I guess we just go through the door. Like,
yeah, as you're ready to go through the door, you turn around and see the rest of your squad mates are just passed out.
yeah.
I don't
Can't
know
do
if there's
anything
much
about that right now.
We can't,
Yeah.
but we can save ourselves and get to somewhere we can breathe. Let's go.
Yeah.
So you pass through the entryway of the door, and as you disappear into the dark caverns, that is where tonight's session will end.
Damn.
God damn.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead and cut the recording here.